Move unemployment compensation.
Piper, you're a jerk. I know it's McCready. He's the thing.
My client is innocent.
So good to see you.
Into the internet, and the internet is always right.
To have affairs with different women.
Now, how do you like apples?
We played sandlot baseball. We made up games.
Stay here while I go talk.
Yeah, they're missing out on these incredible stories.
JBL, I don't apologize to anybody.
You believe that? 20?
But you had a lot of dissension in the Army itself.
There's no easy way out. On the bar, easy.
Went into Vietnam because of expansion, territorial and global expansion. That was the real reason.
We talked about money over people's lives.
Taylor.
Johnson and the buzzer.
Right out his kicks.
Because we have to come up with some kind of control.
Unbelievable play, and colleague here has been elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
They lost 97 to 85 at home.
Name is Buff, and he is the stuff.
Advice is an opinion. Experience is the only way.
You're the third person who's given me this today.
There's so many different levels to the onion.
You're the ones we saw in front of the castle.
Oh, no.
I don't understand what you taught us.
He lost to a black girl who sucked.
To survive!
Associated with money. Me, they called your.
All hope was lost by many people.
The way you're looking at me, we must be old friends.
That's terrific.
This friendship is close to my heart.
Alexander not.
For every single woman.
2001 to me is duller than dirt.
Hi, I'm Potsy, and this is my good buddy Fonz.
Guess I'm the only one he didn't invite.
That's thicker than water and thicker than your blood.
How long was it before we were in Korea?
Ever had an affair?
For USA title.
And this is where there's a personal connection as well.
She was afraid you didn't pack enough underwear.
I guess a lot of people I know are jerks.
What's beautiful about the story of our lives.
Very sick boy.
Underappreciated mainly by Tom Petty himself.
The script is 450 pages long.
This is Michael.
But happiness and pain are not two separate things.
You heard, Leela.
They are tired of your talk, Isaac.
Place where you see somebody drowning, you jump in and you save them, so you're at the wrong place at the right time.
American dream lives on in Minnesota.
For the part of a lifetime.
Are you listening to me?
This film needs to come back because of the world situation we're in right now. Because I can control this sport with one move. DDT.
Oh, look at this!
Don't dare play me cheap.
You need to have time for yourself, time to live, time to breathe.
The Nobel Peace Prize.
His favorite movies ever of all time. I gotta buy this poster.
You were 34.
Kill anybody who does.
Scars remind us of where we've been.
This doesn't grow on trees, you know.
That could inhabit the body of the doll.
Technology is to a point now that you could learn a lot from kids.
Morrison is gone. He is fouled by Hudson.
These are titanium.
One guy was about to come over the rail to hit the boss.
There's that head-to-head matchup, and he clearly...
And the Intercontinental Champion!
If I didn't play basketball, I would probably be in a game.
Quote the Raven, nevermore.
On the way down.
Complex things are become even more complex.
I am Belki Bartokomut.
This is Lucas.
You have to take risks. You have to get fall down. You have to get hit to get up again. You have to fight.
You won't be able to stand the rigors of the NBA. And now that
When they were having those meetings during the civil rights, and these athletes took a step forward.
All human beings are all inherently psychic.
You might try that hot shot.
For me, the perfect ending is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane.
Wow, I need to have that faith in myself too.
We take it one step at a time.
Yeah, I'm trying to win this entire thing.
It's like in sports, I'm sure Jim would say the same thing. You don't play for individual awards.
Oh yeah, I'd love to be able to say I beat all these guys.
About the pride and the pride.
Prize is pretty darn good too.
It's always about the pride.
I'm here to win the whole thing.
I come here to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
It really is about winning.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm here to win it. It's in my DNA.
I'm here to do my best.
Everybody has some pride.
Victory has 1,000 fathers, but defeat is an orphan. Plan on winning tonight.
Here doing mental push-up.
Winning is really important. What's even greater is inspiring. That's what you do with this show.
Well, you're in it to win it, or why be in it at all?
I'm about winning.
I think I'd be more interested in the prize.
It's about the prize.
I am here to go for the gusto.
Why are you keeping score if you don't want to win it?
I would like to win.
We all want to win.
I'm here to win.
You know, I'll leave it up to the voters.
Of course, I'd love to win.
I'm always in it to win it, Avi.
I'm definitely in it to win it.
I've already won. I hate losing. I want to go to Greece.
It's about the pride. You don't want to come in second. You want to be first.
Well, of course I am. I don't do nothing to lose.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. I want to go to Greece.
I have a newborn daughter. I'm here to win it for her.
Wouldn't be on here if I wasn't going to win something.
Yes, I'm going to win it all, man. I'm winning it all, baby.
So definitely.
To win, I'll turn it back into the pool.
The money? Absolutely. I'm going for it.
Party people! That's right. I'm here. Nothing better than the top.
Well, I'm going to give it 110%.
We don't go out with no losing mentality.
I'm here to win. Yeah.
Yes, I'm here to win the whole thing, man. I don't get in the ring for losing, man. I'm like in the ring right now.
To do the best I can. Looking forward to it.
Use that to kind of opportunity to do those similar things.
Somebody's going to be a winner.
And have to want to win this thing.
Devontae always gets his man. Dude, I'm going to win.
I don't play. I just win.
You finally feel as if you made it when you were, I don't know, maybe being stopped in groceries and airports after appearing on Mary Hartman.
That's exactly right. You've really done your research. That's impressive.
You're sheer 9 or 10. You're probably 9.5. And 10 is no one's perfect, but honest to God, you're terrific. You do your homework, and
I appreciate
I've done
that.
Everybody. I've done in the 80s. I did Johnny Carson. I did Merv Griffin. I did it all. And you're very energetic and good. And you asked the right question.
Welcome, Bronson Pinchot, my friend.
Thank you.
I commend you for that.
I mean, that was fantastic. You are great. The only other person that has that kind of spontaneity and the gift of gab was the late, great Chick Hearn. We thought Golden Throat was gone, but he's reincarnated in you.
Thank you, Avi. I agree with all your previous guests. You give good intro.
Another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian man named Skippy, or unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Avi. That's.
They sold the merchandise and merch.
They put their own sequels in the movie ahead
of time.
Abolish the political parties.
I'll tell you this, Ab, you definitely do your homework. Hey, like I said, the good thing about you're extremely prepared, much more prepared than most interviewers that I get.
Oh, where'd you get that book from?
Yeah, there we go.
That's my earful. But
Yeah.
amazing. I tell you what, you did your homework.
Did you have fun here in the green room?
Anytime you want me back, I'm here, brother.
I'm speechless after that. I'm trying to come down from the mountaintop. Prince used to say, we went to the mountaintop. Well, I'm still there.
Glad I filmed that, man. I saw everybody else was so hyped on your intros. I figured I better get that thing since it was live. That was excellent.
Thank you, Avi, and it's just amazing, this show. I'm growing. It's growing on me. It's growing on all America, North America. I think around the world. You've invented something amazing.
John Amos.
Man, what an introduction. I hope I can live up to that. God bless you. I'm prepared to take on this challenge of this wonderful monologue that you've written, and I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do after I read it again for maybe the third or fourth time. I wish that I'd had the time to commit it to memory because it deserves that. Giving me your thoughts and your input, because as I told you, that piece that you sent me is, I love good writing.
Holy cow, what an intro that was. I couldn't have said it better than myself.
Thank you, my friend. What an introduction, I'll tell you. It's amazing.
I've just been waiting on one of those introductions, and I was sitting there watching the opening of the show, seeing all these guys talk about, oh man, thank you, that was the greatest introduction we've ever had. And I'm sitting here, I'm saying to myself, please, I'm waiting on him to introduce me. I want to see exactly what they mean, and they didn't lie. Your mic skills are tremendous, player. I'm telling you right now, man, all I can say is what an honor.
Pleasure being here, man. It's an honor.
Whoa, dude. Yo, if I ever need to find somebody, just in general, I am calling you. That was incredible.
Yeah! Thank you for that great introduction. This is awesome.
This is how I feel about your introduction.
Rico!
Get it. Jerry Lucas, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Avi, so very much. I appreciate what you've said.
Avi, thank you, man. That is quite the introduction. I've done a ton of these things, as you know. I've never had an intro like that. Kudos to you, man. It's an honor to be with you. Thanks for having me. I totally appreciate it.
Thank you. That's the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. You know something? You need to quit the show and be my moderator and travel with me.
I don't know what to say. I think you should write my own book like the intro. Would you do that again?
You're amazing, brother. I was always known as a good talker, but I don't know what the hell to say after listening to you. You're amazing.
Thanks, man. That was great. I love the introduction. Yeah, you go with me anywhere and introduce me. I appreciate that. That was the best introduction I ever had in my life, my career.
I think that you've done a fabulous job, and I have not met an interviewer like you. Neither have I had some of these questions that really sort of went very deep into my heart.
I thought it was a really good time. It's about education and entertainment.
Man, I had a ball tonight, man. No lie.
I did. I enjoyed it immensely. It really got me thinking, and I really got a chance to meet a couple of fantastic guys.
Now, but my hats off to you. I could have stayed on for hours more. I love different topics. You letting us speak and just reaching other things we never ever spoke about.
Dude, absolutely. Oh my God, this was beyond expectations.
Yes,
I
sir.
love you. This is amazing.
Did you have fun, man?
I really did, Avi. Thank you. It was great.
I had a great time. It was great. I mean, your intro for me was just awesome, but also the intro to the show was like, wow, you have all of these people. The only two people I want to beat right now is Rick Barry and Eddie Johnson. I'm coming for you.
Really good discussion and the respect, and you're at the center of it all. And you really are terrific at this. I've never done anything remotely like this, and
I had a blast, man. This was absolutely phenomenal. I hope this takes off even bigger and better.
I had a wonderful time, Avi. You gave me good eargasm tonight, man. I love your voice. I love the things that you talk about, man, and the gift of gab you have. But you're great, my friend. Wonderful, wonderful, great. Love this show. Like I told you, it's almost like you're Chick Hearn reincarnated.
It's completely different. I mean, it's not like a podcast at all. Avi, the way you talk, you're amazing, brother.
This is different. I don't even know where you come up with these questions. You're so innovative. I love it, man, because it got me thinking. Man, this is beautiful. This Knicks. And when you got a hangover, you can have some of these.
I've had a 32-year hangover watching the Knicks.
Is eargasm a word?
It is now.
You have something amazing going with the show but you're there and you're educating us. You're taking people from different eras, different disciplines. You're taking us out of our comfort zone. You're making us fall in love with people that we didn't know.
No one will ever ad-lib like you. It is amazing, though, that everyone that comes on, they always say the same thing. How did you know all of that? That is just simply amazing.
That was one of the best introductions I've ever had in my entire life. Better than my bar mitzvah.
Did you find the technique itself helpful when it came to observing your scene partner staying present instead of strictly relying upon memory?
That's a great question, Avi.
Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person?
I really enjoyed this, man. You're a smart guy and you ask really good questions. And
Joe, welcome, my friend.
I think I have whiplash, Avi. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. Oh!
Thank you so much, Avi. Good to be back.
What a hell of an introduction. That was cool, man. I don't even think Michael Buffer did it better than you, brother.
Thank you, Avi. What an introduction. That was very impressive.
Stretch.
Yo, that was dope.
I
You
appreciate
better than
it.
a lot of these rappers out there.
I stand in awe of your memory and your ability to rhyme, and it's just amazing.
What an incredible introduction, Avi. That is probably the best introduction I've ever had.
Brother, I'm going to take you with me everywhere to get an introduction. That's the best introduction I've ever had in my life.
I am so happy to be on this show.
I hope you didn't mind that I filmed that intro you just did for me because I'm going to play that on my low self-esteem day.
Hey, Avi, how you doing? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Jake Roberts, my friend.
Wow, that was scary.
How you doing?
Thank you, Avi. That was mind-blowing.
I love this. This is great.
You got the intro down to a science, baby.
That was great, man. Where'd you dig that all up? That's amazing.
Hey, Avi. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
It's great to be here and great to be back interviewed by you. It's been far too long.
Happy New Year.
Oh, you are so wonderful. Happy New Year to you. I am so grateful for our friendship. You appreciate things in people that make such a difference. You're quite wonderful. It's brilliant.
You made me laugh, too. It was great.
I think Alf would be wisecracking while the alien would be tearing everybody up apart, I guess. Let's talk about some of the 80s horror class. Eddie, welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm excited about it.
All of the actors and directors, different worlds come together. This is like a sanctuary for those people because we don't always get to talk about the things that really truly move us. I love this show because it makes me feel.
Welcome to the green room.
How did you do that thing where you were talking so fast?
I don't know.
I very few people can do what you did. Well, the acting teacher here, 35 years, commends you on your ability to do that. I'm very impressed.
Man, I had a ball tonight. Nobody do it like my boy Avi.
I had a good time.
Because I've done podcasts in the past, and so what have you done, and what are you going to be doing later? This is fantastic. I mean, this gets your juices going. You know, it gets you thinking. We had fun. You know, it's fun, and it is education.
I definitely did. This was great.
It was intellectually stimulating, which is a unique thing in this world of ours today.
I had a fabulous time. Thanks for having me on the show.
And Avi, great job. This is interesting and different.
Question, did you have a good time, my friend, tonight?
I did.
It's so unusual to be engaged in what everybody else is saying and to want to listen.
It was awesome. It was really great.
I want to compliment you on giving me my best introduction I've ever had in my whole life, too. That's the first thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. You said things about me that I don't even remember. And what a collection of wonderful personalities you have.
And I really enjoyed every minute of it, man. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm just happy I made it to the next round.
Yeah, I had a great time. It was wonderful. I mean, it was so thought-provoking.
And you, Avi, I have a great deal of respect for your resume as well. I mean, I've done many interviews over the years, but this has been one of the most fun by far.
Well, thank you very much. I can't think of a better way to begin the new year than with you, with the wonderful people that you have surrounding you.
Did you have fun tonight, my friend?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Looking for
being around people who are willing and open. I like that.
I did have a good time. It was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be, and I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate the opportunity. It was exhilarating. Like Barry, I didn't know what to expect. I enjoyed it.
It's good to be able to see that you bring people together that, you know what, maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show. And I want you to accept the accolades that you get from all of these brilliant people. They tell you that you're smart. They tell you that you're exposed. These are comments and compliments that you have to say, thank you very much, I accept.
Wasn't sure what to expect. You're number one in my book as far as putting on a podcast, knowing what you know.
You're terrific. I've never done something like this before, so it was fun.
No, you know what? You're a very interesting person. With all this rhyming stuff, you must really put a lot of effort into this. I would love to read or see something that you've written because I'm sure it's really interesting.
Underrated and why? Sauerkraut, Henry Kissinger's deep soothing voice, or dogs wearing sweaters?
I like dogs wearing sweaters.
Grades, is teaching this craft as rewarding for you as performing it?
I think sometimes it's more rewarding. Man, you do your research. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. You do a great job preparing.
A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
I hope you're getting paid a lot. That was the greatest intro I think I've ever had. The amount of stuff that you talked about that I don't even remember about myself, so impressive that I'm highly impressed. I would give this a very high A.
It was like a high school reunion.
It's terrific and it's fun and keep bringing diverse personalities together. I think that's great. And it's also wonderful to hear people talk sanely to each other today.
What's up, Vic? How you doing, man? I like that introduction. Golly, I didn't know that stuff about myself. This is, I think, my top. I mean, because when you do the intro you gave me, I gotta give it to you. I like
You deserve it. Later on, you were able to get her cast on a series, and she received her SAG card.
Oh, I love you that you brought that up. I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing.
What an honor to meet you, and
My
you're
pleasure.
great.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Courtney, did you have a lot of fun too as well?
Oh, yeah.
I had a blast. This is a great show.
What a blast.
I had a great time tonight. You keep rhyming, man. Like I said, it gave like a battle rap, spoken word.
You know, usually I'll do interviews and get asked the same questions about Stephen King. This was great to talk about things that matter, that go beyond project.
Last name Johnson, first name Eddie.
Wow, when I have a retirement party, even at my funeral, you better show up.
Papa Smurf as a hip hop artist.
Yo, yeah.
You're very talented. That's amazing.
Mr. Sizemore, first name Tom. How are you, my friend? So I could turn the volume lower if you'd like next time, if you'd like me to do that.
I don't know what I can do now.
First name Keith.
Oh my God, what a great introduction. Fantastic. You do your research. Connected with me right there. And he knows my brand. He nailed it. Now I know why. This is why your audiences love you. This is why you continue to do great guests. And great guests beget great guests.
I think it's fabulous.
I'm excited.
How you feel, John?
Terrific.
Here we are, guys and gals. It is Saturday night, and we are live as always. And as I always say, if you're a fan of fiery, unbridled passion, then that intro says it all, as it can melt the South Pole. This place we call the Green Room is filled with edutainment, and it has plenty of heart and soul. It's time I listen to Stanislavski and take a beat, as I process everything in real time. This is the 173rd consecutive episode of the Green Room, a feeling that cannot be expressed through a mere rhyme. With a bevy of views on 53-plus pages, week in and week out, innovation is our name and the sweat is the sweet. Dedication, labor, innovation only arrive when your effort is absolute, so put that in a tweet. And in this celebrity tournament that has captivated the masses, the field is one of a kind. Luminaries from all walks of life gathering to compete for the pride and the prize. This is truly a sport of the mind. Sure, the numbers are fantastic, and we're on 53 pages, not including my own, but what's even sweater is the sweet. By that I mean good old-fashioned work ethic, wholehearted passion, effort, and consistency never lead to regret. The good bard Shakespeare himself said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to. Oh, and those words, they ring oh so true. It means that you are the author of your story. Don't edit your vision due to others that secretly prefer to boo while attempting to obstruct your view. With 13,000 on the line and a trip for 2 to Greece and becoming the first champion of this star-studded field, a lot is on the line. But you, our audience, the engine that makes this thing go, are the sweet nectar that we appreciate like fine old wine. As strangers become friends and we all come together, let's remember that we are closer than one might surmise. Limitless visions of innovative bliss experienced by ensemble is the vision behind these eyes. Never hate the flower for starting out as a seed. Long distance running is essential. This isn't a stampede, so don't run anyone over on your way to the top. Focus on yourself and never forget to cheer lead. Root for your loved ones and lift people up. This fortune cookie, guys and gals, known as me, hopes that we've all agreed that positivity is something that we can never concede. So with that, let's bring in our celebrity judge, guys and gals. He's backstage. He happens to be a great friend. I can't wait to see him again. And I think of Walt Whitman, because Walt Whitman said, "Let your soul stand cool and composed before a million universes." And those words make me think of our celebrity judge tonight, because he epitomizes that very quote. There are some that traverse near and far to see what many cannot before them. But it took me all of 30 seconds to realize that this man is an authentic, genuine human being and the real deal. As a human being, his heart cannot contain the kindness that his soul pours out. When in his presence, you'll be sure to smile and never pout. He need not raise his voice to let his presence be felt, so don't expect a shout. I appreciate his friendship and his talent and depth to go several magnitudes of order deep. As a storyteller, his canvas has displayed art that will never sleep. As a writer, his emphasis on substance always goes underneath the skin. And he's in round 2 of this tournament to no one's chagrin. They know his name and work from Chicago to Berlin. So give it up for a friend, artist, and storyteller. Last name London, first name Jason. Jason, my friend, welcome.
Are we married now, Avi?
we might as well be.
I do. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, man. I'll give you your roses because you deserve it, brother. You deserve to hear that.
Well, I thank you so much, man. Love you, brother.
I do too, man. I do too. I love our friendship. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I'm being lazy and chill. Like, that's cool.
No, that was also in the intro. That you are a very real, chill guy. But I got to tell you something. As a competitor in this tournament, you know what's great about winning this tournament? It's great because it stands for something pure. It stands for something positive. So be able to win this tournament, meaning you can actually represent a network at a tournament that stands for what we do. I love our show coming up. I love what you do. I love you as a writer. I love you as a friend. But I got to tell you, Jason, man, as a judge, you analyze things and you go real deep, brother. Real deep.
Wait till you read the next one.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And I love what you send me. Guys and gals, Jason is one of the greatest writers I've encountered and also an incredible storyteller. Quick station identification plug, guys. Again, we're on 53 pages, 6-figure views across the board. We are smashing it right here on the Green Room, not just on Facebook or YouTube land as well. Jason, you don't know who the competitors are, but are you looking forward to seeing who they are and being able to listen to the conversation?
It's one of my favorite things. I can't wait.
I appreciate that, my friend. Guys, the great Jason London, I'm going to put you backstage momentarily, my friend. Jason London, guys, he is the real deal as a human being as well. I value his friendship. And man, oh man, he's in round 2 of this tournament. So is his brother, Jeremy. Jeremy London is also in the second round. We have, if I'm not mistaken, 74 people in round number 2. Remember, round 2 won't kick off until probably April or so. We are at the 11th hour of round number 1, which means I'm about to bring in our very first competitor, guys and gals. Plato said music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe. It gives wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm to life and to everything. And yours truly, Avi Klein, concurs. Our first participant was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and at age 10 moved to New York and the borough of Brooklyn. For a Queens cat like myself, giving it up to said borough might be a sin. But not for this human being, because he's a positive force, as he's allergic to negativity and strife. The 10th of 12 children, his heart would traverse, as he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. In Brooklyn, he was surrounded by the sounds of reggaeton from his Caribbean and Latin American brothers and sisters. Soon his big hit would shake us up more so than any Texas-sized twisters. Realizing that his music is a whole vibe, and then listening to that, he decided he wanted to pursue reggae music. He wanted to take it to heart. At age 15, he started getting interested in singing, which is when we can begin to track his flow chart. As soon he'd climb up the chart, and guys and gals, he was quite the upstart with his beautiful works of art. He listened to Shabba Ranks, Ninja Man, Bob Marley, Admiral Bailey, and Peter Metro. Soon he'd meet Eric Murillo through El General from Panama, the first to do the reggaeton flow. When he sang on the streets, a friend told El General about him, and then told him about Murillo. Soon he'd make an important call. From Brooklyn to Jersey, he used $2 in coins. We all remember the old telephone stall. When he arrived to Jersey via bus, he heard that they were playing house music, and he wanted to incorporate it into his style. And when he got into that booth, they all went hostile as he went the extra mile. All the while, his innovation made us smile. He could even get the most out of the cantankerous crocodile. His big hit was part of an underground track called Go On Move. It had the hook line, make your body move. When he came up with the hook, repetition, and his Cookie Monster voice, we would all approve, as I personally would groove and charm the ladies to this song, who grab hold of me as their night would certainly improve. It took him all of 5 minutes to finish the lyrics to this big hit, which came out the same day as Interview with a Vampire starring Brad Pitt, but no need to throw a fit like Jack Nicholson in About Schmidt when MTV would transmit both events, but this particular song endured and would not quit. It made it to #1 in many countries, won awards worldwide, and sold 3 million copies in 1994. We'd all rush to the store and pick up a copy and rush to the dance floor. Heck, I'm going to play this hit soon to someone I adore. As they don't make classics like this anymore, they clamor for this song from Jersey to Ecuador. And as much love as it could pacify any dinosaur or could even end a war and help the love life of a wild boar. Even political stiffs would dance to this hit, Q and Al Gore. Guys and gals, McDonald's, Jeep, Toyota, Dunkin' Donuts, they all use this hit in their commercials. But when Disney called him and asked to use this song in Madagascar, that made it official. This was one of the biggest handful hits of all time. If I never listened to it, heck, maybe I would even provided you with this very rhyme. Am I going to reveal the name of this song? Of course, because we all like to move it on the dance floor. That is always the plan. So put your hands together for a talented, legendary, and humble human being, the Mad Stunt Man. Welcome, my friend.
Avi likes to move it. Avi likes to move it. Avi likes to move it. He likes to move it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mad Stuntman, I got to say this on record for everyone to see. Look at this, the great comments. Stuntman, oh, wow, woo, no way, yes way. He's here in the flesh, guys. Guys and gals, Mad Stuntman.
Yeah.
I got to say this because I said this in the green room before the show started. You know, back in the Peter Gation days of the New York City club scene, I'd hit the clubs, Limelight. We're talking Expo, Tunnel, during those days in the mid-'90s. And I got to say something, man. I knew how to move. Without your song, the ladies I was around wouldn't know how to groove. So I got to give it up to you because you helped my love life. That song helped my love life. You helped me when I was a young Avi Klein, my friend.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
My man, I got to tell you, I'm so happy to see you tonight. Listen, guys, again, we've got, as of tonight, 88 Hall of Famers in this tournament. And some of them have their own shows. This is not a one-off. The biggest celebrity network, literally, on the planet is this network that you're watching right now and commenting. So thank you for introducing us, guys and gals, to all of your friends and family who watch us in their living room. Matt Stuntman, I got to ask you, with all these Hall of Famers, Oscar winners, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, are you here to win the entire thing, the whole tournament?
I'm here to win it. I'm here to win it. I'm here to win it. I'm here to win it.
I love it. The Matt Stuntman, guys and gals, my friend, I'm going to put you backstage and bring in the second participant. The Matt Stuntman, we're going to see him momentarily, guys and gals. Man, I love his energy. I love his vibe. And yes, on the dance floor, this man made my life easy way back in the day. So thank you for that. Guys and gals, our second participant. Man, does he have an infectious smile. And he's class personified. He has a heart of gold. And this next chapter in his life is filled with positivity, purpose, and value. He was large from birth, about 22 inches long. Makes sense for someone who would dominate in the paint, as he was known to be quite strong. Throughout grade school, his shoe size advanced in lockstep with his age. By the time he hit high school, he received some advice that was definitely quite sage. Miss Watts, his 10th grade English teacher at Maury High School in North Fork, Virginia, lectured about people whose autographs meant something. Ernest Hemingway, Toni Morrison, what we bring in terms of ourselves can make anyone feel like a queen or king. His mind would constantly wander, and he would set about etching his name again and again. The magic of our thoughts being expressed through the underrated gift of holding a pen. During those dreamy adolescent days, he passed many an afternoon with his nephew, Damian Smith, who happens to be 2 years older. As he pulled out from beneath his bed about a dozen notebooks, it was evident that his dreams were even bolder. Damian laughed at his 13-year-old uncle before pausing to reconsider what he was implying about the future. So he asked for some autographs, about 20. 20. What a number, as when he turned 20, the amounts of smiles he helped form were quite plenty. And speaking of 20, at its 20th birthday party, his sister Roxanne reflected on what was her baby brother, as he was the youngest of 7 kids. Little did anyone know that many NBA teams would want his services and were putting out bids. Eldest brother William said he was always well protected, as he basically had 6 bodyguards around the crib. That ain't a rib, as it comes from family, not some mere ad lib. He had a clear vision of his future and told his mom, Letha, of a particular plan. He would go to school for 2 years, join the NBA, and take care of her. That right there makes him a superman. Letha raised her kids alone between shifts as a maid until she earned her high school equivalency diploma and accepted a job as a medical clerk at Norfolk Naval Hospital. She did this so she can be there for her kids and be fully committal. She insisted that all her kids finish high school, and she displays all her diplomas on what she called her proud table in the living room of their 3-bedroom ranch house in Norfolk. These are the things that matter. Such attention to upbringing is what we should all soak. There was never much room for ego in the household, and the rules for him were simple. No bizarre haircuts, no foul language, and no earrings. Says Letha, I told him that the 2 holes he had in his ears were enough. This for a player that could out-tough anyone in his path as he watched his opponents huff and puff. Whenever he took the court at Maury High or at Maryland, his mother uttered a prayer. Wings on his feet, strength in his arms. He and Allen Iverson teamed up on AAU teams as they become household names that were known in big cities or even small rural farms. He actually won the 17 and under national championship down in Winston-Salem when he was 17. Soon over at Maryland, his arrival will be like nothing they'd ever seen, as there was no in-between, as even the dean, or my ex-girlfriend Irene, could sense that on the court, this man was a machine. He was there with recruit Keith Booth, but this man worked like a demon because he loved the game. It wasn't about the fame, the name, or the acclaim. He became the first ACC player in the last 30 years, since Billy Cunningham back then, to average 20 points and 10 rebounds in his career, and he won the Naismith Award as the Collegiate Player of the Year as a sophomore. As he walked off the court at Colt Fieldhouse after Maryland's final home basketball game, you could hear them roar. He stopped for a moment to survey the crowd, tearfully waved a couple of times, then disappeared in the tunnel, leading to the locker room. Despite chance of one more year, the NAB beckoned, and he was about to drop the boom. The 1995 NBA Draft Toronto, Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace, Ed O'Bannon, Damon Stoudemire, Jerry Stackhouse, legends, but only one would be selected number 1. The drama was thick, and the weight on his shoulders must have weighed a ton. But there it was. David Stern called his name as he became the number 1 overall pick in the NBA Draft. First day of training camp, when he dunked an alley-oop, Chris Mullin realized this rookie was a master of his craft. How about some incredible stats? 16 NBA seasons, all-rookie first team, December 95, February 96, Rookie of the Month, Naismith College Player of the Year 95, AP Player of the Year 95, UPI College Player of the Year 95, Adolph Rupp Trophy 95, Consensus First Team All-American 95, ACC Player of the Year 95. These accolades are enough to make even an enemy or an opponent cheer. But despite the many double-doubles, the limitless times, he made our jaw drop as we went, whoa. He never settled for the status quo. His heart allowed those around him to constantly grow and grow. These rhymes are my way to show how this man has it all, like a downtown Manhattan outdoor gyro. They know his name from here to Moscow. Let me finish these rhymes before I plateau and welcome a classy legend of a human being and talent. Last name Smith, first name Joe. Joe Smith, welcome, my friend.
Oh, my God, Avi. Where did you get all of that from? Oh, my God. I'm sitting here with chills as you go and go and go. Whoa, my God, from the family history to, oh, my God, the basketball to the autographs. Oh, my God, man.
You deserve to hear every bit of it, man. Your mother, Letha, an incredible woman.
Oh, man, I appreciate it.
Man, oh, man, and you are an incredible human being. And, you know, the gentleman who put us together said that, and it took me all a few minutes in our phone conversation to realize, my friend, I am glad that I'm getting to know you. You are one hell of a human being.
Oh, man, thank you, Avi. I appreciate it, man. Oh, man, that was awesome. I appreciate you having me here, and looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to having some fun.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, we got a lot of money on the line. Trip for 2 degrees for 5 days, 5 nights. It's probably going to be a year-round tournament because, you know, each round takes a couple of months. We've got 74 people in round 2, but when it's all said and done, when the smoke clears, do you want to be the one that wins this entire tournament?
Do I want to be the one? Are we competing? Is this a competition? If it has competition in it, I definitely want to be the one to win it. Losing is not in my vocabulary.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, guys, love his energy. Joe, you're always number one. I love the comments you guys and gals, You're the unsung heroes in the comment section. You're doing this live. Thank you. Guys, Joe Smith, a legend of a human being, a legendary player. And my friend, I'll put you backstage momentarily and bring in our third participant.
All right. Appreciate it, Avi.
You got it, my friend. And guys and gals, Joe Smith, the Mad Stuntman, Jason London. Let's just have a good time. That's what it's about, having a nice time, learning about each other. But once that third topic hits, man, 2 out of 3 are going to win. That's how it works. 2 out of 3 participants, because after each topic is essentially presented by these luminaries, Jason London's going to vote on who resonated most with him. You guys are going to vote on who resonated most with you. And between you and Jason London, you'll vote. The top 2 vote getters after all 3 topics have been discussed will move on to round number 2. We do have the Second Chance Bowl only being available after round number 1, where you can vote for some of those who've been defeated to see if they come back. Let's see how it goes. But guys, when I think of our next participant, I think of the following. Yesterday is not ours to recover. But tomorrow is ours to win or lose. And you cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. It doesn't work. Our third participant is one of the most positive people on the planet. His innovative thinking and fearless nature help make him who he is. He's also mindful. He's also thoughtful. He's also funny. He's highly intelligent, and he epitomizes the word class. He was one of 3 children born to William and Molly in Lackawanna, New York. He doesn't miss much and could spot anything on the field, even a torque. His father worked for the massive Bethlehem steel plant, but he wanted a better life for his son. This would be accomplished as both on the field and on the mic. This man is second to none. In his lunch pail community of 18,000 south of Buffalo, he was no country club kid. But around age 9, South Park Gold Club definitely raised his eyelid. He became intrigued by this 9-hole public course near his school. He and his friends would sneak onto the course, second tee, but it's cool. Curiosity can oftentimes be our fuel. Before we associated this man with excellence, victory, and the word win, his father showed him what life was like in the steel mill, much to his chagrin. After a week of straightening rods, he wanted out, but his father made him stay 2 more weeks so that the lesson stuck. Perhaps it's experiencing that which makes us stronger, that prevents us from running amok. When he was a kid, he actually wanted to grow up and become a baseball player. When observing his vast array of talents, it's easy to see why he's allergic to any naysayer. A few important occurrences took place when he was in high school that would alter his life. The most important being meeting Liz, who for just under 50 years has been his wife. In high school, he was one of the best to ever play at his school as a 2-sport athlete. As a football player, he was elite and had a well-deserved reputation for being hard-nosed, as the sweat was his sweet. His stellar play and gutsy leadership soon drew the attention of a number of big-time scouts. He was coached in high school by the legendary Gordon Bucati and played with future Syracuse All-American running back, guys, Marty Januskowicz in his back field. The fans would rush to see him play. Nothing could prevent them, even a human shield. By his senior year, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Boston College, and other collegiate giants had 0 doubts. To the surprise of many, he chose little-known Youngstown State. Why? More in a moment from yours truly, Avi Klein. The coach told him that he wouldn't shine, guys. The coach told him that he would shine, and he wouldn't ride the pine, as he would throw 30 times a game. So his next question was, where do I sign? Coach Dick Bede, collegiate proponent, guys, of the side saddle tee. More on that later in the show, because we can all agree that it's time to embrace the glee and see a talent who deserves to have his name in the marquee. In his senior year, he ranked 5th in the country among college division passers at Youngstown State, put together a 4-4-1 record, its first non-losing season in 6 years. His opponent shed many a tears as he continued to excel as he was selected by the Rams. A perfect time to be taken under the tutelage of quarterback John Haddle in an era that was dominated by press and cams. How about some stats? Okay, how about some stats? 32 touchdowns, 4,612 yards in college. How about the 1980 Burt Bell Trophy NFL MVP? The all-time Eagles leader in many passing categories, including career touchdown passes and career passing yardage. He passed for nearly 27,000 yards, including 175 touchdowns in his decade in Philly. How about starting 116 straight NFL games, thereby setting a record for the most consecutive starts by an NFL quarterback? Whew. How about guiding the Eagles to a 12-4 record and their first ever Super Bowl? In total, we're talking 28,190 passing yards and 179 touchdowns. The Pro Bowl in 1980, the UPI NFC Player of the Year, the Ed Block Hurge Award, 4 different Halls of Fame, and an Emmy nomination for his outstanding work in broadcasting in 1996. Wow. That's right, working with ESPN for over 30 years as one of the greatest analysts of all time is yet another career in which he proved to be one of the all-time greats. So yes, I give you all permission to go nuts like Norman Bates. Put down those plates, call your mates, phone your dates, and welcome a man who had intelligent leadership, infectious enthusiasm, and fiery determination. Get ready to high-five, salute, or bump a fist to a man ranked 13th on the NFL all-time yards passing list. That's ahead of Joe Namath and Terry Bradshaw. I'm telling you, this man, both off camera and on, does not have a flaw. When you see him momentarily, you'll never have to wonder where the legends have gone. He's as prolific as any NFL great and as funny as Vince Vaughn. They scream his name from Missouri to Yukon. Put your hands together for the one and only legend himself. Last name Jaworski. First name Ron. Ron, welcome, my friend.
Avi, I'm exhausted from listening to you. That was an awesome introduction. Going back to my days at Lackawanna High School certainly brought back some phenomenal memories. Thank you so much. Great to be with you.
Thank you. You are a class act. When I try to...
Stuntman, we're going to have some fun.
It's going to be great. Mr. Stuntman, Mr. Joe Smith, Jason London, we're all here. And I got to say this to you again, like every word that I try to conceptualize through the rhymes, they come from the heart because you give so much. Joe gives so much. Stuntman gives so much. And it's so cool to be able to know right now the person behind the persona of Ron Jaworski. But Ron, you're a competitor. I have to ask you the same question. It's in my ear too. Everyone's wanting to know, are you here to win the entire celebrity tournament, my friend?
17 years in the NFL. That's hard to do. Winning this contest is hard to do. But I am here to win. I play to win the game. I play to win the game, Avi. I am here to win the game. But I'm playing not only for myself, I'm playing for my foundation, the Jaws Playbook. We raised over $7 million for at-risk youth in our community. So whatever I'm able to win, that money is going to the Jaws Youth Playbook to help kids in our community. So that's why I am going to win this. I love it. Not for me, for the kids.
I love it. Guys, it's a 6-step process. We got to go through 6 rounds. This is round number 1. And of course, guys, one of the greatest directors of all time, greatest pro wrestlers of all time. We got a lot coming down the pike for the end of round number 1. But right now, if you want to talk about the greatest of all time, Ron Jaworski, Joe Smith, the Matt Stuntman. It does not get better than these 3 gentlemen who met each other before the show began. And also, Ron, you haven't seen Joe since 98, I believe. 98.
When he was in the basketball court for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
I watched Joe play. Good to be with Joe and the Mad Stuntman. Looking forward to it. Sorry, guys. I'm going to kick your ass.
You just made it personal.
Oh, yeah.
You just made it personal.
Man.
I didn't know you could have used profanities. Wow.
I'll tell you what, guys and gals, but it would be profane right now, guys, if I can't remind you how much none of us ever complain or ever go insane when this thing goes down every Saturday night. So here we are with topic number 1, guys and gals and pals. Topic number 1 is something I call Take Your Roses, because everyone dreams of that perfect job that combines their skill and their passions. But getting there might be daunting. Whether you want to end up in the suite of an international corporation or in charge of your local business, achieving your career goals requires careful planning. Even when you start your career, you have more agency over your profession than you might think. But what about that one personal or professional milestone, that achievement, that award, that accolade, the one that truly resonated with you even after all of these years? You know, sometimes we have to take a step back, breathe, and be proud of what we've accomplished. After all, celebrating your achievements and applauding your triumphs is a sure way to refuel your enthusiasm and keep yourself motivated for your future endeavors. Guys and gals, I'm going to ask Ron, Joe Smith, and Matt Stuntman, in that order, one at a time, of course, to discuss one particular milestone, accolade, accomplishment, or award. Hey, it might be personal, might be professional. Mr. Jaworski, if you can do so, the floor is yours, good sir.
All righty. One personal accolade that stands out first and foremost. There probably isn't really one, but since you said I have to narrow it down to one, I'm going to do that. And when I think of any success that I've had as a football player, as a husband, as a father, it's very difficult. Those are the most important things to me. The family is number one, by far number one. And I'm very fortunate to be brought up, as you talked about earlier, outside of Buffalo, New York, in a steel mill, the steel town, where 21,000 people in the town, 20,000 carry their lunch bucket to work every single day. And I learned that in that environment, if you want to get somewhere with your life, you have to work hard. You've got to work hard to be successful. So I learned that at a very young age. And, you know, it's funny you mentioned these prizes. And you mentioned I'm going to celebrate my 50th anniversary in a few months. That trip to Greece would be really nice. So I'll just throw that out there as something I would love to have, and I'm sure my wife who's watching would love to have that as well. But when I think of one particular thing, it's a 17-year NFL career. If I'd have to capsulize it in one thing, is in the NFL, probably the majority of people don't realize the average career in the National Football League is about 3.3 years. Think of that. By the time these young men that we watch on TV now, by the time they're 25, they're looking for another career. They're looking to do something else with their life. So I was very fortunate to last 17 years. And that 17 years as a player can be really directly attributed to people that led me, that coached me, that were my mentors. They're the people that deserve the accolades that I receive individually, because they're the people that sacrificed for me. And I think of, like, I talked about that culture of Lackawanna, New York, and my parents and what they taught me, and the culture of Lackawanna, New York, hard work, discipline. My dad worked, as you said, in a steel mill. My mom was a cleaning lady in the Ellicott Square building in downtown Buffalo. So, everything that they did, they worked hard for. And I saw that. And it gave me tremendous motivation. I had a brother and I had a sister. Neither went to college. I wanted to go to college. My mom and dad wanted me to go to college. I did, went to Youngstown State. All those things made me. So when I think of my NFL career, that was the next step. After a great upbringing, my backbone of how I was going to lead was kind of formed by my parents, and the work ethic that I still have to this day. I still probably work way too much, but I love to work. Work is not work to me. It's something I enjoy doing. But when I think of people, and I'm sure Joe and the Mad Stuntman will talk about people that impacted their lives, because that's what it's all about. People impacting our lives in a positive way. So when I say a 17-year NFL career, I think of those people that made it possible. In my formative years out in LA with Chuck Knox, my first head coach, I can remember going into his office. The first day I'm drafted, the 37th player selected in draft. Not like Joe. Joe's number one. He had a cakewalk, man. I had to earn my stripes. I was a 37th player selected in the NFL draft. When I sat down with Chuck Knox, it was amazing. The words that came out of his mouth probably 10 times in the first 5 minutes was commitment. Hey, Jaws, your great college career. That's why we drafted you. We think you have a great future, but you better be committed to making it work. You better be committed to making it work. He didn't say committed like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and take a few days off. No, the commitment that he taught in me and instilled in me was the commitment 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. That's the commitment it takes to be successful in competitive sports. So I learned that. That was the culture, the foundation I learned when I was a young kid from Chuck Knox. So that was important to me. That helped me get that 17-year NFL career. So, 4 years in LA were great years, phenomenal years. But the guy that I went to then play for was Dick Vermeil in Philadelphia. And I keep thinking of Coach Vermeil all the time and what lessons that he taught me so I could have a 17-year NFL career. And when I was with Coach Vermeil, he talked about discipline all the time. And if you're in the entertainment business like the Mad Stuntman or Joe and I in athletics, we know what that means. We know what discipline means. The discipline to be great, to be a leader. And you must have that discipline. And Dick Vermeil set me up for that success and taught me discipline. In fact, now since my retirement from football, I don't work with ESPN anymore. I work with NBC Sports in Philadelphia. And all the lessons I learned from those coaches have helped me in my other businesses. I have a golf company that does $35 million a year that I own and operate along with my family. So all the lessons I learned as a football player and as a professional athlete have helped me make a transition after my NFL career. And that means so much to me, the foundation that I learned from, as I said, Chuck Knox and Dick Vermeil. And how about a guy when I played 2 years for with the Miami Dolphins, Don Shula, the winningest coach in the history of the National Football League. I'll say that again. 2 years with the winningest coach in the history of the National Football League. You learn how to be successful from other people. So I learned from Don Shula what it was going to take to be successful. That culture that he had, the hard work, the teamwork, and the teamwork was most important. Yeah, you may have had great players like a Dan Marino. I backed Dan up down there, but boy, if you don't have teamwork, you cannot be successful. And I don't care if it's sports, business, family, if you don't work together as a team, you have no chance to be successful. So I think of that foundation I was learning from all these great people, Hall of Famers. And, my last stop in the NFL was in Kansas City with Marty Schottenheimer, a phenomenal football coach. Had over 200 wins in the NFL, not in the Hall of Fame, but should be in the Hall of Fame. The only coach with over 200 wins in the NFL, not in the Hall of Fame. And the word he used a lot and kind of the character that helped me form was trust. And it's kind of a word you didn't hear a lot like in football, And sometimes you don't hear it a lot in sports. But if you don't surround yourself with people you can trust, you really don't have a shot. You really don't have a shot to be successful. So that's what I've learned from those coaches. And I know Joe's probably going to talk about sports and that interaction, and Stuntman going to talk about all the great things he's been able to do. But I learned from coaches. So that's kind of the one thing that stands out in my mind, that what I learned from coach. So I'll pass along to the other guys to talk. But man, I'm so thankful to say great things about the people that helped me have success, Avi.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, but Youngstown's program was kind of low key. And you had the late Dick Bede. He would stop practice when a flock of Canadian geese would flow overhead. And he would talk about why a cluster of mushrooms that appeared overnight on the field grew in the pattern that it did, because he was the last proponent of the side saddle tee. And for those that don't know what it is, it's sort of a bizarre formation that's like a cockeyed wing tee. And you'd line up a yard behind the left guard to receive the snap from center. A tailback and a fullback lined up 5 yards deep. They'd go in a pro set, and every play a wingback would go in motion. They'd pause briefly behind the center as if to receive the snap, and then the wingback would then continue toward the sideline as if he had the ball. Did you find something that might have been unconventional to still be useful so many years later as a pro as well?
Well, absolutely. In fact, Avi, the present-day NFL shotgun, newfangled style of offense, and the side saddle tee was kind of a precursor to that.
Right.
The short snap to the quarterback, we would actually snap the ball to the fullback, and it was a motion offense, which everyone talks about now. Whoa, what's this crazy stuff we're doing in the NFL? Well, it was done 40 years ago. So it just we hadn't seen it in a long time, and now NFL teams doing it, and it's becoming much more prevalent. But thanks for bringing that up, the side saddle tee.
Absolutely, my friend, without question. Again, guys, you are looking at legends off camera and on camera for what they do, how much they give back. And tonight they're giving us their heart and soul and their mind, and we're having a lot of fun. That goes to show you guys and gals and pals, we can have something that I dub competitive camaraderie and edutainment and still have fun on a Saturday night. With that, guys and gals, Mr. Joe Smith, if you could discuss one particular personal, professional milestone, accolade, or accomplishment or award that you're proudest of to this day, the floor is yours, my friend.
I mean, you pretty much started it off with the breakdown, the intro. I mean, I was 13 years old practicing my autograph in notebooks, different notebooks around the house. So mine would be probably being chosen and fulfilling that dream of becoming the #1 pick in the NBA. My journey was a little bit different than a lot of the #1 picks that have been drafted. I wasn't a high school phenom. My name wasn't top 50, top 100 in the country as a basketball player when I came out of high school. So my work ethic and the way I work and the work that I had to put in was a lot more drastic than what other players had to do. Like Ron said, the support system that you have around you, the people that are sacrificing on the daily, they played a big part in my career and what I was able to accomplish. In high school, I was a great player. I can't deny that. I always wanted to play in the ACC coming out of high school. So when I narrowed my teams down, my schools down, it was all ACC schools. It was Maryland, Virginia, Florida State, Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech. Grew up a Carolina fan, but they didn't recruit me, but that's okay. But I mean, the work that I felt that I had to put in, and there was one thing my mom always told me. She was always tell me, never leave a job half done. And I used to cut grass when I was younger. And I used to go, I went to my next door neighbor's house one time, cut her grass. And she had a fence around her yard, and I really couldn't get in between the gate. So, she came over, told my mom that I didn't complete the job. My mom, she came in, had her talk with me, and made me go back out there and finish what I started. And from that point on, I took that to every level and every training and every part of basketball that I participated in, whether it was AAU, whether it was high school games, whether it was games at the University of Maryland. Whenever I stepped out on that court, it was like give it your all and never leave this job have done. And the workouts that we had going into the preseason coming into Maryland was some of the toughest workouts that I've ever had to go through in my life. You know, going from high school to college and preparing your body, preparing your mind for what's coming and what's next. You know, they really pushed us and made us do what we had to do in order to become, better players. We was picked my freshman year at the University of Maryland. We were picked last in the ACC, and that was something that even Jaws, if he was a college commentator, he would have had us last in the ACC because we had a young team, and we were starting 2 freshmen, myself and Keith Booth, and 3 sophomores with Exree Hip, Johnny Rose, and Dwayne Simpkins. And a lot of people, really slept on us because they really didn't know what to expect. But we had a lot of guys with a lot of heart. We had a lot of guys that wanted to go out there and compete, that wanted to prove the naysayers wrong. And like Jaws said, when you have a team full of guys like that and guys that really come together for one common agenda, then it makes your progress a lot easier, and it makes your what you guys are about to go through, it makes it a lot more satisfying. So I mean, for me to be the number 1 pick and going from basically a high school guy that wasn't really highly sought after, a guy that really had to prove himself year in and year out. My 2 years at college, a guy that set a dream and set a goal for himself that at the age of 12 and 13 years old, that I would not be denied and would not, and would do whatever it takes to fulfill that dream. It was something that was a great accomplishment, not just for myself, but for my mom and our family. Like you say, that was my goal. My dream was to take care of my mom, make sure she didn't have any worries before she moved on in life. So for me to fulfill that and put a smile on her face, and see my brothers, my big brothers and sisters, see them living a dream and continue to support me throughout my NBA career, man. It was one of the best things in my life.
Wow, that's amazing. When you said when you talked about your mom and how much you dedicated much of what you did in your career to her, I think of something that I tell a lot of my students in class. To shatter the cycles of the past, you must first accept the problems of the present, because we have a lot of issues we're dealing with right now. And you were so focused dealing with the right now, but you also had the mindset of knowing what could be done for her, knowing how hard she worked. We're talking about how you were the youngest, of course, of all your siblings, and, they were there to take care of you. But there was something that occurred right when you announced that you were going pro, which I find fascinating because, your mom would call you at 2 a.m. in your college dorm just to check up on you. And then there was that tearful announcing of the press conference in spring that you'd enter the draft. And it was so beautiful to see you sitting right beside Letha, and you drop your head into her lap. And everything you said you would do for her, man. Again, the house, the education, that's something that any athlete or any entertainer that strives for, that is so selfless to give back. To me, that's what resonates. To know that you love the game is one thing, but to know that you love your mom and your family and are using the game that you love so much to interweave those worlds together, that's beautiful, man. It really is.
Thank you. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. My family, like I said, they sacrificed a lot for me when, coming up, taking me to games. I had, my brothers and sisters, even though sometimes they didn't want to, they would have to take me when my mom couldn't. So, they sacrificed a lot, man, taking me to training and taking me to camps and basketball practice. And, man, so for me to be able to put a smile on their face and kind of, show them the appreciation that I was able to show them, it really, put a smile on my face and really put a big impression on my heart.
Well, how could you not love this game when you hear Joe Smith talking about his love for his family? And I love that. I got to say this, though, man. This is so, I don't know why, off topic. Speaking of, we're talking about Maryland greats. Len Bias needs to be in the Maryland Hall of Fame. What this guy did on that court,
I totally agree.
Incredible.
I totally agree. I mean, if he should have been in there years ago. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, he's probably the best Maryland basketball player ever.
He had the body of a pro in '86. He had the game of a pro in '86.
Yes.
And he might have even extended Bird and McHale's career a couple of years because he would have came in there, drafted by a championship team in '86.
Team, exactly.
Oh my God. And then you're drafted by the Warriors, and people need to understand, you come in there right away, averaging close to a double-double. I mean, we're talking Sprewell. Tim Hardaway was still there till midseason. He got traded to Miami. Chris Mullins there. This was an elite team. If it wasn't for their injuries, the Warriors were probably going to make a lot of noise in the 90s.
And that was the thing about it. We did suffer a lot of injuries my rookie year. Myself and Sprewell, we were healthy most of the year, but our other veterans, like you say, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullins, they were in and out of the lineup. But I mean, I really learned a lot from those guys. Those veterans, they pulled me under there as a rookie coming to the NBA. You really don't know what to expect. People tell you this and that, but when you have guys, on your team that are with you every day that you can get to know, that are really breaking down the ins and outs of the NBA, man, that really helps out a rookie a lot.
I could only imagine. And guys and gals, I want to read this email from Mr. Tim Hardaway Sr., who is in round 2 of this tournament, by the way. Tim Hardaway says, please let Joe Smith, I love him. But if he's in round 2, I may not. So that's for Tim Hardaway. He's waiting. He's waiting in round 2, guys. Man, oh man. We know Tim Hardaway went up against Jacques Rougeau and Jeff Timmons a few months back. Guys, we're having a great time. We're learning about the heart and soul of Ron Jaworski and Joe Smith. What means so much to them means so much to us because they're giving us their time. And Matt Stuntman, a man who, again, just like Joe Smith and Ron, has an infectious smile. I've enjoyed getting to know you, my friend. I would like to know, what accolade, milestone, or accomplishment or award are you proudest of to this very day, Matt Stuntman?
I am proud to be the person I am today because when I was younger in Trinidad, such a young age, and my mother and aunts would go to work. My mother would go to work and leave us, me and my siblings, at home with my aunt to watch, and we would knock about, just go start making little mischief, not real mischief, but little mischief. And we would get our butts whooped. And I'm talking about switches. I'm not talking about belts. It was like a tree branch or something like that. Or I remember when I were put on a grater, those grater carrots and stuff. I was to kneel down in the hot sun with my arms in the air, and that was painful. So those were the type of little punishments that we would get when we were bad, and not bad like running off and stealing and doing, foolishness, but just being around the house in Trinidad and not doing your chores. And when you're not doing your chores, that's the punishment you would get. And to this day, I still remember that all the time, to do good. So when we came up to the United States in 1978, me and about 5 siblings, we were living in Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. And the first school I went to was PS 316, elementary school. And then I got left back from the 6th grade. And then I was like, wow, what's going on? I was to go back. And then I graduated. I did good. I graduated. Then we moved again. Another part of Brooklyn was Flatbush. We moved to Flatbush on Woodruff Avenue. And growing up as a teen, I started getting into the music. Around 16, I started getting into the music, the reggae music. I liked that because being from Trinidad, you would hear soca music and calypso music playing, the fast, nice music, the nice music, our nice music, carnival music. And after hearing reggae music, I was like, man, I love this style. And I had a Jamaican friend living downstairs in a building we used to grow up in on 33 Lenox Road. He used to live on the 1st floor. I used to live on the 2nd floor. And he had a DJ set named Pisces High Power. He would be playing these reggae records, you know, with all the artists in them singing, and we would take the mic and we would be mimicking them, you know. And then this is how I developed myself and learning how to write, how to talk a Jamaican style, because I'm from Trinidad. You know, I don't talk Jamaican, but to learn to speak Jamaican, because it's the type of music I want to learn, I was to ask my friend, hey man, what is that you're saying? And then he would tell me what he's saying in Jamaican, and I would be like, oh, okay. So I wanted to write songs, and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to write a song, I need to learn how to speak like a Jamaican, you know? So I started writing the songs, you know, and then we would go on the set and we would sing over the artist that's already performing on the record. We would sing over them. So the hardest thing was to blind them out and you could sing so your friends can hear you, you know? That was the greatest thing for me. But my greatest accomplishment is gaining these fans. From 1993, when I Like to Move It was released, it's all about the fans. Because if it's not about the fans, what are we right now? We perform for them, we sing for them, they cheer for us. They are like family. The fans are like family because they pay our bills, they make us look good. Look what I'm got on. You know? They pay for that. And they also gonna pay for Ron. They're gonna pay for your 50th anniversary tickets to Greece. And, so I'm gonna give you $1,000. So you guys gonna have something, all right?
Appreciate you.
Greatest accomplishment is this award I got here. My first award. I like to move it. I got this award from the Netherlands. After I Like to Move It sold 3 million copies worldwide. This was the first award I got from the Netherlands, and this award made me cry when I received it because I came from such a long way. I always wanted to be a superstar, like everyone else that I saw that was in music. And I said, man, one day I want to be a superstar. And out of the blue, it just happened just like that after being introduced to DJ producer Eric Momorillo and Strictly Rhythm Records. And I was signed, and the rest was everything just happened so fast. It's like my stories is so long, man. You know, but everything happened fast, and my greatest achievement is my fans. I do it for my fans. I do it for me because they make me eat. When I make them happy, they make me happy, and that's what it's all about. God, my family, they've always been backing me, and it's all about the fans for me.
I love that. That's really awesome to hear that, because when you would sing, it wasn't just that you were singing a song. You were the song.
Yes.
You were the song. I mean, like, you can't listen to I Like to Move It and replace the Mad Stuntman, although at one point your manager tried when, you know, you were for one event. That didn't go well for him. But when you think of iconic songs like that, you associate it with the artist because you don't want to hear a cover song. You don't want to hear somebody else mimic it. You want to hear the original. And again, you brought a lot of life. You helped my dating life because of that song. So I will always be forever grateful to the Mad Stuntman. And guys, Joe and Ron, if you want to hear a story, when I went down the proverbial rabbit hole, I found this to be interesting. St. Petersburg, Russia, 500,000 people are there. They're enjoying themselves. But then, sign of the times, the army wouldn't even allow the fans to react. Right? They're beating people up, and they're taking them away, and they're having a good time, but you just keep on going and keep on singing. That must have been one hell of an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was, because when I saw that, I had was to stop the show, and they were like, no, keep singing. They're used to that, you know, and I had was to keep singing. So I kept performing. The more I would perform, the more they would jump up and down to enjoy themselves. And then there goes the nightsticks. There goes the nightstick. We're used to it, you know, and that was kind of crazy for me. But like they said, they're used to it. And so I kept on performing, and it was a great show afterwards.
No.
Man, wow. To see the things you guys have seen internationally as well, not just domestically, because you guys have seen the world and then some. That's absolutely incredible. And guys, right now, again, it is because Matt Stuntman has given so much joy and peace to the world. So is Joe and so is Ron. But then we have to remember, guys and gals and pals, there's a lot of things going on in different countries as well. And as entertainers, I mean, that sort of reminds me of what I first saw when I was part of a project and I was supposed to write it, but I didn't write it. So I ended up being one of the production assistants early in my career. And it was overseas. And I couldn't believe how people were so smitten by the celebrities that they would trample each other. They'd run each other over. I mean, just to get each other's autographs. 5 minutes prior, they're schmoozing, they're talking, and then all of a sudden they lose their mind. So, like, on that level to witness celebrity, you guys had to deal with that every single day. Every day. So, again, hats off to you guys. And again, I don't have to deal with one thing that I'm glad. It's judging. I'm just moderating, guys. So right now, let's bring in our celebrity judge, Jason London, because how on earth is he going to vote? Ron Jaworski, the Matt Stuntman, Joe Smith, guys and gals and pals in the comment section, please cast your vote as well. And remember, this is only topic 1. We got a couple more to go. Top 2 vote getters move on to round number 2. Mr. Jason London, who resonated most with you and why? I know this is really tough.
Yeah, man, this is unfair. They're all brilliant in their own way, so it's just so hard. Mr. Mad Stuntman, that's what an incredible story. I mean, and I love the song as well, so thank you for that. And Joe, I mean, your accomplishments are unbelievable, and I think it's cool that the question was about accolades, because you guys are actually getting to tell us about what you're proud of, and we don't get to do that often. And but ultimately on this one, I'm gonna have to go with Ron on this one, and because the amount of years and experience and doing some things that just were kind of unheard of, and I admire that so much, and
appreciate the kind words,
and especially the charity. Not the charity, your organization and everything. And I mean, really, guys, I'm just trying to butter them up because I need a new set of golf clubs. Really, that's all it comes down to. I'm joking, but it was unfair. You have to make a choice. So I'm going to go with Ron.
Hey, Jason, any motivation's good motivation, my friend. So there we go. But no, of course, how do you vote against these personalized stories? Jason London has done this twice as a judge. He's in round number 2, guys and gals. A question for Jason from Michael. Michael has a question for Jason. Yeah. Loved, Dazed and Confused. Is there going to be a sequel? That's from Michael asking.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
There you go. Guys and gals, though, I guarantee you in 2024, hey, I'm not going to talk about it in detail. Jason's got a lot coming down the pike, a lot, and I love it. I'm excited for you, brother.
Thank you.
Mr. Jason London, guys. We're going to see Jason after topic 2, and again, he's lending us his time. Let's be also very grateful for that to all the viewers watching, and of course, be grateful to Ron Jaworski, the Matt Stuntman, and Joe Smith. I will tally your votes now. As you guys know, the judges' votes are worth 3. So let's see right now where we stand. Giselle, I think, thank you for tallying. We were at 3 for Ron. Let me count these up. These are all cumulative. They do not go back to 0, the votes, that is, after topic 1. So let's see where we are. This is a tough one, Julie Hall says. All 3 are fantastic. Slim margin. Vote goes to Joe Smith. Thank you, Julie Hall, for your vote. Here doing it live, guys and gals. We don't like to brag. We would like to remind you. Who else? 170 some odd episodes, 173 consecutive episodes doing this live. Booking 3 luminaries every single Saturday night to show up here live and give us a bit of themselves. That's what we do over here. And to the studio watching, thank you for supporting us. Finally, let's see where this thing goes. Johnny McKinney says Joe Smith. Shaquila Daniel says Joe Smith. And Jim votes for Jaws for Mr. Ron Jaworski, Jim Baggs. Ramon says Joe Smith. Don't know about that, Mindy. Brian going for Joe Smith. Okay. Lisa says the Stuntman has my vote. Thank you, Lisa. And Christopher concurs. He says such a tough choice. My vote goes to the Matt Stuntman. His music still makes an impact today. Yeah. And Leah concurs. Stuntman as well. Another. Wayne Chatelaine, my vote is for Ron Jaworski, and also a large thanks to him for giving up watching the NFC divisional game tonight. You guys understand Ron Jaworski, much like Joe and Matt Stuntman. Ron is on TV every day breaking stuff down. He's here with us. Vote for Matt Stuntman, says Hillary. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm voting for Joe Smith, says Irving Quintero. Thank you. Jeff going with Jaws on this one. Gotcha. Johnny says, my man Joe. Is that a vote? Is that officially a vote? I guess it is. I'll accept that. My man Joe seems like a vote. It better be a vote. All right. Let's see. We got more. Ed Hauser says, got to go with Ron. Love the work ethic. Thank you, Ed. We have another vote for the Matt Stuntman. And Chad also concurs with Hillary. Alexander says, tally one for Joe, for me, and we will. And Chantel from Australia, thank you, also votes Joe Smith. Dakota says, the Matt Stuntman gets my vote this round. Amazing speech. Your story is beautiful, my friend. You guys are beautiful, too. Thank you for your hearts and souls. An amazing audience. We keep things so light and positive here. We love you guys. Gus votes for Joe. John votes for Joe. All right, that's 2 straight for Mr. Smith. And Tracy, emphatically, with 2 exclamation points, votes for Joe, in capital letters, no less. All right. We have Lisa Jacobelli. Everyone thinks family, which is a beautiful thing, but when you're humble enough to say the fans are your greatest accomplishment, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Lisa. Again, really cool stuff. Scoreboard watching, Green Bay, San Francisco 7, Green Bay 6. Thank you, T-Bag. How about that? How about that, Ron? That's pretty cool. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to count this thing down because we have a lot of you. Again, cumulatively 6-figure views, so we can't count everyone's votes. So I will count this thing down. Howard votes for the Stuntman. I see that right now. I do see that. Thank you, Howard. We have another vote for Ron, and this is from Michael, Giselle, and Julie votes for Ron as well. 2 straight for Ron. Gotcha. Okay. See if I missed anything here. Deidre votes for Joe. Holly votes for Joe. Love his story of family. Absolutely. Yes. And we have another one. Donnie votes for Ron as well. And Jeff Reeder, let me pull up yours if I can. And then I'm going to stop this thing, guys. Jeff Reeder votes for Jaws. Let's go, Joe, I guess, is a vote. All right. Definitely rooting for Joe Smith. All right, guys, I'm going to count this thing down. No problem for the shout out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You know there's a 5 and a 4 and a 3. Then there's a 2 and 1 and a 0. So with that, after topic number 1, where we stand right now is we have Joe Smith at 15, Ron at 11, Matt Stuntman at 8. It's very close. Top 2 vote getters will move on. Guys and gals and pals, we are now talking about topic number 2, which is what we're doing, human connection. Because through the years, we thrive as a species, or we should, by connecting with other people. And whether we're hunting for meat, gathering berries, maybe traveling in stagecoaches back in the day, we always did those things in social groups. Because it's that human connection that's advanced our world from gathering and hunting for our food to shopping for it in grocery stores. But with the rise of digital interactions, we've also seen an increase in loneliness. You know, connection is when 2 people interact with each other. Sometimes, and hopefully, each person feels valued, seen, heard. There's no judgment. And you feel stronger. You feel nourished after engaging with those people. So connecting with someone doesn't always have to include words either. It could be the nonverbals. It could be time spent in relative closeness. An experience can also be a bonding experience. So guys and gals, we're going to rotate it out. Matt Stuntman will start first, and he will provide an example in which he connected with someone on such a strong level that it still resonates with him to this day. Are you ready to go, good sir?
Yes.
Floor is yours.
Yeah. Let me take my glasses off so you guys can see my face. I definitely want to talk about my mother. You know, God rest her soul. She passed away in 2018. She had 2 strokes. She had actually was walking in her kitchen, and I think my niece were playing, and she spilled some liquid from her cup, and my mother didn't see it, and she walked out from the kitchen, and she slipped and fell and hit her head, and she got taken to the hospital, and she had caught a stroke in the hospital. And when she had caught her stroke, they told me about it and stuff. And when I was in New York, flew down to Florida, because she was residing in Florida. And when I went to the hospital, I ended up finding out she had 2 strokes. She had another stroke while she were in hospital, and she never, she was just laying there, and family were around her and everything. And I came down from New York to visit her. And when I went to the hospital and she was laying there in the bed, not moving at all, I started singing my song. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I said, Mom, it's me, it's Mark. My real name is Mark Kwashi. And I said, Mom, it's Mark. I'm here. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. And she wasn't moving. And then I kept singing louder and louder and louder for her to hear me. And God is my witness. He made her hear me. I saw a tear came out of her eye. She raised she was moving her toes to the sound of my voice, singing, I like to move it, move it. She was actually moving her toes. And then when I got close to her in the bed, she raised her hand and tried to fix my shirt. She was fixing my shirt. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow. I couldn't believe it that she's there laying, cannot do anything. This is when I realized that life is so serious. When you're not here anymore, she's not here anymore, and my father passed away in 1995. It was not it was a big deal, but it didn't affect me the way how my mother affected me, just laying there knowing that this woman took care of 12 kids, and then she's there laying, cannot do anything, and I just got in a zone where I held her hand, I hold her tight. No one wants to lose a mom. We all love our mothers. No one want to lose a mom. And my mother, ever since I started singing and I got known, my mother always called me Stuntman. She stopped calling me Mark. It's always Stuntman, Stuntman, Stuntman. Anyone she meets in Florida, she would tell them, my son sings, I like to move it, move it. And they would not believe her until the workers come to her house and sees my plaques on the wall. This is where she noticed when she tells them who her son is, they feel so proud to help. And she's very helpful. If someone comes to mow the grass, my mom is cooking, she's feeding these people, and she just have a loving heart. So she's just laying there, is just telling me that we got one life to live. Live it good, live it positive. There's so much negative in this world and hate. People just hating you for no reason when we could love each other. Music is powerful. When you hear music, it brings people together. Regardless of the situation, it brings you together. And I'm proud to be here saying 30 years later that I have a hit song, a catchy hit song, a women's anthem. Women, you're beautiful, you're cute, you don't need no makeup. You will make man mud up, make man crazy for your love because you're natural. You're natural. You can wear makeup and look pretty when you go out, but remember when you get home, you got to take it off. Back to your natural self. If you can be proud of your natural self, you're not going to worry what someone think about you. You understand? And to be around women. My stepfather, he did a great job bringing us up, teaching us, wonderful stepfather. God bless his soul. He also passed away too, and he looked after my mom. He made sure she had everything to feed her kids. We didn't grow up poor. We grew up, we had it. We had food on the table every day. If my mom is not home and she's working, my aunt and uncles taking care of us. If when we come home from school, we got to do our homework. If you don't do your homework, you get a beating. You got to do your homework before you go outside to play. It was those type of rules that I grew up on, you know? And to be this person today, I'm proud to say that I got everything from my mother. She taught me well. My aunts and uncles, they taught me well. I dropped out of school at age 16. I was not proud of that. At the time, I was proud because I was following people, following friends. Dropped out of school. I always wanted to sing. I would go to a friend's house and stay there all day. My mother would think we're in school. We used to come home, write our own homework, and present it to her. When time for the report card, that was the trouble part, you know? But my mother, greatest accomplishment. And I just want to say thanks to everybody in this world that recognize my music. I want to thank DJ and producer Eric Morello, the producer of I Like to Move It, Move It. He's not here with us anymore. He passed away 2020. And he's a part of this history as well, along with the record company that brought the music out, along with the fans that spend their hard money on it. They are part of my history. You guys, talking with you guys right now, you are part of my history. So, you know, as we move on, we can talk about who we met for the first time. You know, Joe Smith, Ron. It was so nice to meet you guys, man. And I'm here to tell a story. I'm here to win as well. As much as I can win the hearts of my fans and the new people that I'm meeting, that is the greatest gift of all.
Wow. Thank you so much. Mr. Stuntman, I have to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What was your mother's name?
My mother's name was Vera Austin Cox.
Vera. So thank you for letting us get to know Vera a little bit. Because I'd rather not have gotten to know her if she'd still be here. But the fact that she's not means there are a lot of people out there typing and commenting, but their emotion is resonating through those expressions, through the written word. And they're all saying how amazing of a lady she was. So I'm honored to have you honor your mother here live. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
It means a lot, sir. Thank you so much for that. Guys and gals, yes. Thank you for letting us know about her. Thank you for sharing, Mindy says. Guys, thank you for your comments. You guys are class acts. We appreciate you. Topic, the same one, guys and gals. We're going to talk about an example in which you connected with someone, Ron, on such a strong level that it resonates with you to this day. Are you ready to go, good sir?
Absolutely, Avi, and great job, man. Son, that's an awesome story, and sorry for your loss. And it's kind of interesting, you know, sitting here hearing with my colleagues and talking about, you know, success we've had, and I've heard the word family and friends like 100 times already. And it shows the human nature of what we're talking about. We may have excelled in sports or music or whatever the people you've had in your show, Avi, but it comes back to family. And it's so important. And as Mad Stuntman said, it's crazy world we live in now. And it is a crazy world we live in now. We need more people thinking of their family and living for their family and taking care of their families. And it is resonating. And I think you said it best, Avi. You're getting great comments, and sort of the Mad Stuntman deserve them. It's a great story. And I love hearing about family, especially we're competing for a prize, but we're not competing for anything. We're competing for people to do the right thing. And I think that's what we're doing here tonight. Very, very positive. And I will digress a little bit. And my person I really connected with is someone I'll mention in a moment, but I lost my dad when I was 19 years old, going to my sophomore year at Youngstown State University. It was a terrible, terrible impact on me. And we were very close, you know, being an athlete and, you know, going to games. I'm sure, Joe, your family, you mentioned your family already, your mom, and my dad was my driver. I was playing baseball all summer. He'd drive me to every game. And I was actually drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals coming out of high school. But if it wasn't for my dad taking me to all these games and getting me anywhere I wanted to go, he was my biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader. When I played on a high school basketball team, he'd be sitting in the front row waving $10 bills to the referee because they were making bad calls. He was there. He was always there for me. And I got grandkids now, and I like to be there for them. My kids are older now. We have the grandkids. You don't need to be there. Just be there and support them. And it's always important to be around and look around, that you care. And after I lost my dad, my mom was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But my dad was a tough, hardcore kind of guy, and he let me know how he feels. He'd be on my ass when I needed it, And mom was always there in a different way, in a loving, kind way, and give me the hugs and the kisses and all that. But when my dad passed away, it was hard. It was very, very hard. And then when I went to Los Angeles as a young quarterback, I'd leave Youngstown, Ohio, and I go to Tinseltown, Los Angeles. I'm a little bit lost, and I'm trying to play football and be focused. All those things you need to be focused, but it was hard. I didn't have that discipline that I needed, as a youngster in LA playing professional sports. So I needed that discipline, and the person that really taught me the discipline was Dick Vermeil. And I mentioned Coach Vermeil earlier when I came to Philadelphia. He was the head coach, and the reason I came to Philadelphia was because of Dick Vermeil. Because when I was 22 years old in 1973 and he was coaching the running backs, he kind of took me under his wing. One of those guys that cared about the person, not just the quarterback that could throw balls, but really, he taught me how to be a pro. If there's one guy that ever stood out in my mind that I really connected with, it was Dick Vermeil. He taught me how to be a pro, how to handle myself professionally, how to handle myself with the community, how to deal with my teammates, how to deal with the media. He taught me all those things. Well, lo and behold, he leaves the Rams after 1 year, goes to UCLA, becomes the head coach of UCLA. 2 years later, wins the Rose Bowl against Ohio State and Woody Hayes. And he takes a head coaching job in Philadelphia. Well, he wants me as his quarterback. So how fortunate could I be that the guy that I bonded with 3 years earlier wants me to be his quarterback? I'm a free agent. He brings me to Philadelphia. And to this day, we are still dear friends. We talk every week. He's 88. He mentors me every single week. That's a coach. That's a coach that doesn't, hey, can you make a 3-pointer? Aren't you? Can you make a 3, or can you grab a rebound? No, the coach cares about you as a person. Yeah, we all want to win in professional sports. That's the name of the game, to win. But it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just winning the football game or whatever the case may be. But when I think of Coach Vermeil, to this day, what he's meant to me and so many other players, that's what coaching is about. Yeah, like I said, it's always about winning. We get it, especially at the professional level. But I think the coach that connects and embraces players is the coach that eventually becomes the guy that goes to the Hall of Fame. And Dick Vermeil, 3 years ago, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame because he's a football coach. But in my opinion, he got in because he made me the person that I am, or played a major part in making me the person that I am. So that's one of those moments that really has a positive impact. It happened a long time ago, and to this day, still stands out in my mind.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's beautiful because you mentioned your father, and we mentioned some of the early life lessons earlier in the steel mill as well when you were younger, and he passes away in 1971. Your dad.
Yep.
And then when it comes to the story that you just gave us right now regarding Dick Vermeil, he'd grab you by the seat of your pants, he'd pull you back down to earth, and he did kind of become like a father figure, right?
Oh, he absolutely was. I mean, he was a coach, but he didn't coach the quarterbacks, and he was coaching the running backs. But when you're in a sports program, you're with everybody every single day. But he kind of took me under his wing. He'd always kind of, what are you doing? Are you studying? Are you preparing? Just holding me accountable. If I wanted to make it in this league, I had a head coach at Chuck Knox who was very tough, hard-nosed, which most coaches are. But Coach Vermeil would always kind of be there for me whenever I needed to ask a question. I was embarrassed to ask a question. He was always there.
Can you imagine today? Because the biggest change maybe to football today, to the NFL at least over the years, has been how complicated everything is. Formations, personnel packages, analytics. It's complex. It's become more complex.
Still players. Players win games.
Yeah.
11 players going hand in hand every single play to be successful. It's still a team game, and teamwork will win every time.
Well, again, a testament to your respect for your mentor and your coach, and that means so much because maybe I know it sounds a little sappy, but I mean I believe this. Maybe when you do talk about a person who's no longer here in the physical realm, we give them the life that people think they lost because we're speaking them into existence again. It's a beautiful thing.
Really
So I
is.
love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron, for that. I really do appreciate that. And guys and gals, please let us let you know we're appreciating all of you as well. We're seeing your comments and your positive comments, and that's par for the course because that's who you guys and gals are. So thank you, Mr. Joe Smith. Again, my good friend. Would you be able to provide an example in which you connected with someone on such a strong level that it still resonates with you to this day?
Of course. I mean, we all know about my relationship with my mother, and how I feel about her, and all the sacrifices that she made for me as a kid growing up, even throughout most of my adulthood, because I relied on her for a lot. But I mean, other than her, I mean, it was my high school coach. He was a tough-nosed coach. He got, even though I was probably one of the better players on the team, he got on me just as much as he did any other player on the team. He and my mom, they sat down and they knew my dream. They knew what I wanted to accomplish, and they sat down together and came up with a game plan for me. My father, he wasn't there all the time, so my high school coach was almost like a father figure to me. And, before practice, he would have me in the gym working out, training, working on different things to get better. After practice, we stay after practice late, and he'd have me in the gym working on some other things. But he was one of the first coaches to ever see the potential that I had in me. He figured out a way to bring it out. He brought it out of me in my high school days. He helped prepare me for college, as far as knowing how to train, what to eat, how to schedule, how to manage my time, and things like that. That's going to help me, be able to be a great college student, as well as being able to manage the off-court things that I need to do to be a successful basketball player. So my high school coach, he was also one of the first ones that really showed me how to maneuver and become better around the basket. He put me to work. My mother actually gave him the green light to punish me anytime I would I would act out of line. So it was when I was with him, it was almost like being with her. The respect that we gave each other, the respect that we showed each other. He knows what I want to accomplish. I'm not trying to let him down because I know that he's taking time out of his schedule, time out of his day to stick around and help me become a better player, help me become a better person, showing me the end, showing me all the ropes, just to how to treat, not just how to play the game of basketball, but also how to treat people, how to interact with people, how to keep a smile on your face, even though things might not be going in a positive manner at that moment. Just keep a smile on your face and continue to be positive. My high school coach, I mean, he really helped groom me so whenever I became the number one pick, or whenever I got drafted, it wasn't that big of a step up, because of my high school coach. He really prepared me mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, we were all intact from the time I stepped into that high school gym. He and my mom, like I said, they came up with a game plan. My mom, she trusted him. She knew that he had my best interests at heart, and he knew that if he got out of line, he would have to deal with her as well. So, so he made sure everything was on the up and up, and it was just all positivity, man. And I hear you guys, you're talking about your mom, your father that passed. I lost my mom in 2007, right before I retired. And you guys talk about how you're going, it still sticks with you. And it does. I mean, my mother and I, we were so close that, You know, so I could call. I would call her before every game, call her after every game. Like Avi said earlier, she'll call me 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, just to make sure I'm not out doing anything, you know, that I'm not supposed to be doing. So she was always there for me. But just knowing, you know, having the opportunity to allow for her to see me, you know, get drafted, not just get drafted, but for me to be able to get her a home, or her dream home, and be able to make sure that she was set up the way she was before she passed. That was a great honor and great dream come true for me. And just having those two in my life, my mom and my high school coach, from the beginning, you know, putting me on the right track and having me on the right path, you know, really took me a long ways and really kept me focused on my dreams and what I want to accomplish. So those are the two that really played the biggest part of my life.
That's incredible also to learn about your coach. And I am so sorry regarding your mom, Joe, as well, because just researching and going down that rabbit hole again and learning more about your mom and your coach. To me, the thing that I enjoy about this is the fact that you guys are giving us an opportunity without really knowing each other well to learn about you and what matters to you. And it's through this humanity that I do what I do. Like, it's easy to plug in the microphone and look as spiffy as I do naturally. All natural, Mr. Stuntman. All natural. No makeup. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say, though, that the humanity that you guys are lending us is amazing, because it is personal. It's very positive, and I'm glad that you guys are able to trust us as much with, you know, heartfelt stories that mean so much. Joe, when you were young, a lot of people don't know this, but there was this really, speaking of your high school coach, there was an epic high school game that you had. You and Iverson, standing room only. It was only a 2-point win. Iverson's team, but it was a close, epic game, wasn't it?
It was a close game, like you say, standing room only. Like, our high school games were almost college atmosphere, like in Norfolk, Virginia. So almost every high school game was standing room only, jam-packed, both sides represented well. And we played Allen Iverson and Bethel in the regional semifinal.
Sure.
In high school, and it was a back and forth game. Went in and went back and forth. They ended up playing a boxing one on me with Allen checking me, guarding me in front of me the entire time, and just had guys collapsing behind me. But it was an epic game. I ended up with it was 52-50 final score, and I ended up with 37 that night.
Wow, that's incredible. But hey, you know, that's cool because you did win the 17 and under national championship.
Oh yeah, we won that together. That one thing about it, we played AAU from about 12 years old to about 17. Until he got into the situation at the bar. But we played AAU from 12-year-old until that incident, and we rarely lost. I mean, obviously, I had to get used to playing with Allen because, you know, he took a bulk of the shots.
Right.
But he made me a great offensive rebounder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know that's one of the things that I wish, like, a lot of the young fans, I guess, of the game should know about you, because, you know, in tough stretches of games, you'd get every rebound. Inside the last 2 minutes of the game, you'd get the ball. And every time you'd either make a basket or you get fouled, but you were a 77% foul shooter, so you're making free throws too.
Yeah, I took pride. One thing I took pride in my free throws. I mean, I always tell people that's free money, so why leave it at the table?
Right.
So I took pride in my free throws, and down the stretch, you know, those are game-winning moments right there. So anything I could do to help us win the game, I put my body on the line and, you know, went after it.
This is a question from Robert really quickly. And guys, we have one more topic and we're going to find out who won. Robert's asking Joe, was Chris Mullin's reputation as a gym rat legit?
Very legit. Very legit. From the time I walked in, got to the Bay Area and walked into the Golden State practice facility, he was one of the first ones there. The first time I walked in, and all the way up until he got traded, he was one of the first ones in and one of the last ones out. One of the last ones off the court. but definitely one of the last ones out because of treatment.
Oh man, yeah, there you go. Brooklyn's own Chris Mullen, guys. Brooklyn's own Chris Mullen. Man, this is a lot of fun, guys. And now, of course, we have to move on to round number 3. But before we do, we're going to see who resonated most with you as well. And of course, I'm going to bail out since I'm not voting, so I'm going to slip away and bring in Mr. Jason London, who once again is going to bestow us with his class. And how tough is it this time? Still pretty tough, huh?
Yeah, man. These questions are no fair. Because everybody made one point, which is wonderful, and you're also lucky to have. You want to be remembered when you're alive, but you want to be loved and remembered just as much when you're gone, and to know that leaving a legacy or whatever is one thing, but the people that you loved and that loved you the most when you were here, you want them to still remember you and love you when you're gone. And all of the stories were really touching, but I made me a little emotional, and so my vote is going to go to Mark, the Mad Stuntman.
I love it, guys. Yeah, Jason, really quickly, I just have to ask you this really quickly as well. Someone you resonated most with that you still think about as well, a human connection that you can remember.
Oh man, you're sneaking up on me here.
I am.
Because I think you're going to automatically kind of go towards, I guess, someone that you lost, And,
sure.
I feel so lucky to still have my parents. But I will say I'm gonna say my dad's mother, my grandmother. She was that glue that kept a gigantic family together and made the best damn rolls you could ever eat in your life. I miss those rolls. But all of you guys were incredible, and
for sure.
Mark there has got my vote. If that's not being disrespectful.
Man, oh man, guys. Again, Jason, thank you. We got one more topic to go, my friend. The great Jason London, guys. And of course, you guys are going to bestow us with your heart and mind via your votes. Let's see. Stuntman for the win. I guess that's a vote. We'll count it. Stuntman gets a vote from Leah Roel. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Gus, you're picking Stuntman. Thank you, Gus. Appreciate your votes as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one for Mr. Joe Smith. That's from Cheryl. And we have another one from Cheryl Bradley for Stuntman.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. We have one more from Hillary who says, the Matt Stuntman, he made me cry. I was just so moved by his words and the emotion he felt when he spoke. Thank you, Hillary, for that. We appreciate that. Johnny J. Campbell says Stuntman gets my vote. Appreciate that so much. Mindy said I'm voting Ron for this round. Thank you, Mindy Red. Okay. We have more. Tracy Mitchell screams Ron. Okay. We'll count that as a vote. Wow. Glad I didn't forget her vote. Chat says, again, I'm going to vote for Mr. Matt Stuntman in the second topic. Thank you. Julie says this was even harder to vote than the last topic, going with Mr. Ron Jaworski. Thank you so much, Julie Hall. And we have Rita saying she's voting for Mr. Joe Smith, and Leah Smith concurs and also votes for Joe Smith. Thank you. Another vote for Shaquilla Daniels. All men had very loving family members in their lives. Yeah, that positively influenced them in a way that they were so graciously able to be graced with their talents. I'm going with Stuntman this time. Beautifully said. Yeah, beautifully said. Love that. And remember, guys and gals, the best way to predict the future is to create it. These three men created. They didn't just predict the future. They actually made it happen. They rolled up their sleeves and they worked. Chantel says, I'm voting for the Matt Stuntman this round. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. We have more for Stuntman. Alex Silverman votes for Mr. Jaworski, and Ed Hauser concurs. Irving Quintero votes for the Mad Stuntman. Got you there. Okay, and Amosi Morgan also votes for Stuntman. Thank you, Amosi. Appreciate that. And look at this. What's become a theme tonight. It has become quite contagious. Tracy screams, Ron! Gotcha. Unreal.
Jaws. I guess that's why, right?
It is incredible. Once again, my vote is Avi's vote. I'm not voting, though, Rachel, but let us know who you're voting for. Appreciate it. We have Jeff. Going to go for Ron this one. Gotcha. Karen voting for Mr. Stuntman. Got you there. Okay. Appreciate all your votes. Guys, I can't count all of them. I'll try my best. There's a lot here trickling down the pike as we speak. Christopher says, such a hard vote, but my vote is going to go to Ron. Gotcha. Okay. Tiara votes for the Matt Stuntman.
Thank you.
Lisa votes for Joe Smith. Thank you. This thing is real close. Man, oh man, is it close right now. We have more to come. Joe gets my vote, says Mel Red. All right. Guys, if I'm looking at this right now, the margin is 5 that separates Ron, the Matt Stuntman, and Joe Smith. 2 will advance. I'm going to count this thing down. I don't know what that means, Rachel, but let us know who you vote for. No problem. Cheryl votes for... Oh, no, I got your vote there. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 is a 5 and 4 and a 3 and a 2 and 1. Then there's a 0. So at the buzzer, Jim Baggs votes for Jaws. We got one for Jaws. Got it. So, guys, our final topic right now is upon us. It's the only topic of the evening, as you know, in which all 3 competitors received different topics, different questions, if you will. They are thought-provoking topics. And the reason why is because you have to accept yourself. And I always say you should be an expert of you. Because going down that rabbit hole and traversing high and low and getting to know who you are might not be a good experience. But no one else is going to get to know who you are unless you do first. Don't beat them to it. Don't let perception lead the way from others. You get to know who you are. Perception won't matter. Get to know who you are because it's a journey. But it's the business of your life. It matters. It matters so much. Because your time is too valuable to respond to every critic. Right? You don't need people policing yourselves. Make sure, guys and gals, by knowing yourself, through a self-imposed discipline, for the sake of your own moral convictions, make sure that at the end of the day, you don't judge yourself too harshly. You might not like what you see in yourself. You might not like who you are. But the great thing about it is tomorrow is another day. This journey is everlasting. So the questions we have here are all different, and we're going to start things off with Mr. Joe Smith. Joe, what are the things that you do for the sake of becoming your best self, my friend? And whenever you're ready, the floor is yours, good sir.
Well, Avi, for the people out there, I mean, when I retired from the game of basketball, I went through a tough stretch. Really didn't know what to do. Really didn't know what my next step in life would be. So what I began doing basketball training with the Joe Smith Basketball Academy. And it's been with boys and girls of all ages. And that kind of gave me new life, you know, because after I retired, I was, you know, in a dark place, really didn't know what to do with the rest of my life. So once I began the Basketball Academy, I began working with the kids, working with the youth, mentoring, speaking to them about my path and the things that I've accomplished and what I had to go through to get to my accomplishments. So working with the kids, man, has been a great part of my life. I mean, it's almost kind of reviving me a little bit. Seeing the smiles on these kids' faces, seeing them get better, seeing them want to come in and work on their game, working with these kids and helping them develop not just their skills, but like my high school coach did for me, develop off the court as well. These kids, they have a lot of influence from social media to the phones, whatever they have in their phone. So to be able to reel them in a little bit with my story, reel them in with some of the things that I've been able to do, I've seen throughout my life, and help guide them a little bit, you know, as an extension of their family, you know, like my coach did for me. It's something that I'm very proud of, something that I love to do, and something that, you know, just is something that hopefully, you know, as I continue to build it and continue to grow the Basketball Academy, I can continue to help more and more kids around the country. Right now, I'm based out of Georgia, and I do a lot of stuff in Jacksonville, but I'm trying I'm trying to get it to where I'm able to travel with it a lot more than what I am now, so that I can be able to help more kids around the country, around the world, and be able to give back to communities in that fashion. I've always been one that's always wanted to help kids in the community, do whatever I can as a part of the different communities that I played in. I played for 12 different teams. So that's a lot of different communities around this country that that I've been a part of, and I've gained a lot of friendships. I've gained a lot of relationships in these parts of the country that that I really want to be able to continue to go to these different places and continue to give back to the community. There's a lot of love that needs to be felt out there, and a lot of love that's missing out there. And that's one thing I've always been taught from day one from my mom, from my family, and my brothers and sisters is that no matter what, always respect and love thy neighbor. And that's something I've always taken to heart, and that's something I've always taken with me throughout my career. And whenever I do these basketball camps, basketball clinics, speaking engagements, training cycles, that's one thing I've always wanted to make sure I leave the kids with. Let them know that I'm someone that they can talk to, someone that they can communicate with, someone they don't have to hide from, someone that they can, basically feel like, they're being loved by. Because that's what I want to spread to these youth, spread to these boys and girls, because a lot of them don't feel it at home. And when they go to practice, and when they go to games, and when they go to work out and train and different things like that, that kind of motivates them. When you show them that you're really interested in their development, like Jaw said earlier, when you show them that you're interested in their development and not just out there trying to collect a buck, show them that you're interested, show them that you want them to get better, and prove that you're down for whatever they want to accomplish. You're going to be there to help them accomplish that goal. And whether it's in sports or whether it's in any other form of life that they want to participate in, they have your support, and that can carry them a long way. So my basketball academy and being able to mentor these youth and help the youth as much as I can, that's something I've taken to heart, and that's something I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, and I can't wait to talk more about the academy, by the way, guys, after this segment a little bit, because Joe does a lot to give back. And since he will not go into detail because he won't brag, I will. I'll brag for him because he has mentored and still mentors, present tense, so many great, great players. But I like what you said, because it's like people can wake up and realize that they're the universe. They don't have to reach for the stars. They're right there. They're right there. I love that. I love that. Guys and gals, please, again, I want to read this to Joe's dedication. Comments for Joe. Joe's dedication, is outstanding. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alexander. And we have another comment here from, let's see, where is this? This is a comment for the Stuntman. Not that we're voting on fashion, but shout out to Stuntman for that jacket. It's a whole vibe, and I'm here for that vibe. That jacket is keeping Hillary here. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joe, you're an incredible man. That's what I'm talking about. Someone they can look up to and feel safe with to open up about things in their life. Thank you guys again for your comments. We appreciate that. So, guys, Mr. Joe Smith, again, gave us his heart and soul. I'm going to kick it over to the Mad Stuntman with a question of his own, which is, what desires keep tugging at your heart, good sir?
Wow. It's a big one. It's a huge one. First, I would like to say thank you for all the fans that's commenting and everything like that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And, and I would like to also mention this. I had mentioned that I had dropped out of school. I want to let all the younger generation know, do not drop out of school. Stay in school, learn, have an education so you could become someone. You can follow your dreams. Don't let no one hold you back. My dream was to become a singer, but not to drop out of school to become a singer. But that's what I've done, and I've became successful. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. So stay in school, learn your numbers, because everything in life is all about numbers, adding, subtracting, dividing, everything. To build a house, you need those measurements. Anything. Stay in school, kids. Please don't follow my footstep. I'm not a role model. I'm going to say I'm not a role model because I make mistakes just like you. When I'm off camera, I'm making a mistake. You know, I get yelled at by the ex-wife. I say ex-wife because I'm not married anymore. I get yelled at, you know. It's like making you guys happy. And then when I come home, is who's going to make me happy? You know, unless I make myself happy by writing a song, thinking about the women to write a song, thinking about the kids. I want the kids to know that I am the real original singer and songwriter for the song I Like to Move It, that's in Madagascar. I want the younger generation to know that I am the real King Julian. Let's say I am the real King Julian. You know, I want to leave that legacy behind. So when they singing it, they think about me, you know? But I also want to say that without God, nothing is possible. I'm trying to make everything more simple. I know the question that you asked me, but I just want to express myself and feelings to you guys that when I first got my big break and the money was flowing in, I was young, I was spending, just doing what I wanted to do, spend, spend, spend. But I remember Eric Morello, the producer, would say to me, Stuntman, stop spending your money like that. It's going to be a rainy day. You have to save your money for a rainy day. And I took it for granted. I was like, listen, I'm the guy that sing I Like to Move It, and I can spend my money because I went and worked for it. No, that's not the case. He's telling me something to remember. Do not spend your money because when you don't have it, who's going to be around to give it? You understand? And that happened in real life. It happened in real life. Even though you guys see me singing and I'm laughing and I'm talking when I'm on my Instagram or Facebook, not all the time I'm happy, because when I get off the screen of making you happy, I go back into my little cocoon, you know. And life is so real that we take things for granted, you know. I'm saying this because I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me, because I'm not sorry. I'm happy everything happened the way it's supposed to happen, because when we want things to go our way, the only person has that say is the man upstairs. We make plans. Oh, next year I'm going to go do a show. We don't know if we're going to make it next year to do a show, because it's the man upstairs is guiding us. So you got to follow. If someone is leading you, you have to follow. And don't be scared to follow, because when you follow, you're learning as you go. Like our parents did. Our parents hold our hands and they taught us how to walk. They taught us don't touch that. So we grow up knowing these mentality for our kids. When we give our kids and they listen and they follow the good step, some of them don't follow the good step because they don't have brothers and sisters and uncles to put them in place. You know, I just want to say, guys, I'm so happy to meet you. Joe Smith.
Same here, bro.
No clue who you were. Ron, I had no clue who you were until Avi started talking. I want to say thank you so much to 1 second. My mind is shut right now. My mind is shut right now. I want to say thank you so much for Valentina Nicolette. She's been there for me We went to Doha, Qatar. I performed for the semifinals, 2 shows back to back for the semifinals. Seeing 96,000 fans in one arena and 86,000 fans in the other arena, and the soccer game right around the world reached 5 billion people. That was amazing to me, knowing that I came from Trinidad and Tobago. I never performed in Trinidad ever before, like doing a concert. I did 1 or 2 songs with a couple of artists, but I never in my homeland perform for my fans in Trinidad and family. You know, I want to say big up to Zig Boss. He's part of that. And my fans, I just want to say thank you guys so much, because I don't really care about the money. I care about the fans. I really care about my fans a lot, because it means so much to me. All I know is music, music, music. Releasing good music, writing for the women, everybody having a good time. Now I have to write music for kids to enjoy. I have to watch what I say, because I like to move it, transfer from the women to the children. So I got to really watch what I have to say and sing clean music so the kids could sing along, dance along. You know, sometimes I want to say something other than stop being Mr. Good Guy, but it always bring me back to say, hey, you got the kids are watching now. You know? So I stay grounded, and from here on, it's all about the kids for me. Thank you guys so much.
Well, wow. And Mr. Stuntman, I got to tell you, because if you win the money, you're not going to need some of your current wardrobe, right? Can I get that blazer? I want that blazer. That's what I want.
You know, I'm gonna definitely send this blazer for you, because I'm tired of wearing it now.
Oh, I will never get tired of wearing that. Never get tired of wearing that. I will do household chores wearing that.
I need to get a new blazer with that 15,000. Come on.
I might be quicker at laundry. You know, I'll be moving it with that blazer, doing my laundry. That's what I need to be doing. So this is the Mad Stuntman, guys. He gave us his heart, and I also have to say this, because I have to bring it up, guys. I have to bring this up. You brought up, of course, Madagascar. You know, when DreamWorks Pictures reached out to you to use that single, it did become a huge hit. There's no doubt about that. So you've done a lot, but there's also so much you've done for WHO. When WHO approached you, WHO, of course, there was a reason as well. So you do keep giving back. So I want to give back to those who give back. And, of course, these 3 men and Jason epitomize all of that. So thank you so much, my friend. And, guys, right now, this is the final question of the night and our final topic of the night. Mr. Ron Jaworski's question is, man, oh, man, if you could transform something in this world, Ron, what would it be and why, good sir?
Well, first of all, I'm already doing that. But before I get to what I'm doing, Avi, thank you, Mad Stuntman Joe Smith.
You're welcome.
I am absolutely so proud and honored to be part of this panel you put together for the show tonight. What an amazing group of people. We may not all win the money, but we're all winners. What a great group of people. And hey, I'm not only glad to be part of the panel, but the commentary has been through the roof. And I'm learning all the time. So thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it very much. And when I said I'm already doing what I want to do, the Jaws Youth Playbook, which is my foundation, has raised over $7 million for at-risk youth in our community. And myself and my family are very, very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. And maybe to give you a couple examples, it would be easy to go to, you know, some affluent neighborhoods in our communities and give away bikes and give away prom dresses and build football fields and build playgrounds. But we go to the toughest communities in the Philadelphia and Northeast region where people really need help. And let me give you an example. Our bike drive, which is I'm so proud of, we give away 600 bikes to kids in at-risk communities. And 2 years ago, we went to the Kensington area in Philadelphia, which by most accounts, maybe one of the worst areas in the country, not only the Philadelphia region. It's a tough way for kids to grow up. When I went to give the bikes away, we gave away 600 bikes at the Kensington Recreation Center. I parked my car 2 blocks away. I had to meander my way through Tent City. Drug addicts, stoned on the street, giving themselves shots. I cross the street, stepping on needles. I get into the community center, fabulous place run by amazing, wonderful people who care so much about the community. And when I get in there, it's like a respite for all these kids. They come in, and I'm there. This is my wife, myself, our family. We're there. We don't raise the money and give it to somebody. We're there. We want to see where the money goes. And those 600 kids that walk in and get a bike, they get ownership. They get freedom. They get recreation. They get health when they get that bike. So it means I get great support in the community. You know, Pizza Hut donates food. We got people donate helmets, donate a lot. So when those kids come in there, there's a big smile on their face. And when I see that smile on their face, you know, see the food they're getting, and it just makes my heart just explode. I feel so good about it. And that's why we do it. That's why we do it. You know, my life is not going to change one way or another, but I know we're making an impact. Education is so important. It's so important. And we've already mentioned respecting, you know, people at all levels. Give people respect and education. And that's kind of where I've always focused my philanthropy is helping young people. Young people are our future. If we don't help those young people, they won't get a chance. Yeah. But when I see those 600 kids coming through the Kensington Center, I'm ready. I'm ready for next year. Let's go. Let's start calling our sponsors. Hey, man, Stuntman, you committed $1,000 on the first segment of the show. So I wrote that down for you, sir. We'll get that done. But
okay, sounds good.
All right, I'm counting on you. That'll give me about 6 bikes. So we got that. I'll take care of. And seeing what you do, Joe, what you do, whatever the comments on this scroll that going below on the video is phenomenal. People are appreciative of what we're doing, not because of who we are or what we did, it's because of what we're doing.
Yes,
we can make this world a better place. We can get kids more educated. We can get our kids more respectful. The future is the kids. It's not some of the clowns we got running the country now. I don't mean disrespect on anybody. If we don't teach people respect, if we don't teach our young people and get them educated, the world has no chance for success. So this couple hours we've had tonight, I'm blessed to be with you guys. I'm blessed that everyone has chimed in and wanted to give back to the community. So. And I'll wrap it up there. I can go on all night. They don't call me Jaws for nothing. So
which was a nickname provided to you by Doug Collins.
That is correct. Joey, Doug Collins, the old Sixer, was my neighbor, and he started calling me Jaws around 1980. Around 1980, when we were in the Super Bowl.
Really?
People would say, "Oh, we call Jaws because of the movie," and Joe and Doug said. No, I call him Jaws because his lips are always flapping. So that.
Well, hey, Ron. In that case, I'm Jaws the sequel. I'm Jaws Part 2.
Number 2.
I'm Jaws the sequel.
There is no doubt that you are Jaws 1.
Well, I got to say this though: if you ever want to get Doug Collins, and I can say this personally, if you would ever want to get Doug Collins upset, which you never should, do not bring up the 1972 game.
No,
against the Soviet Union.
Talk about foul shots. We won't do that.
No. What I'm saying is that Soviet Union game, that is still such a tough topic because the U.S. won that game 3 times in '72 in the Olympics, and Doug was on that team. So if you ever bring that up, guys and gals, to a Doug Collins, do not. Takes that really tough. One of the greatest all-time coaches, one of the greatest human beings. What a passionate guy. Doug Collins, Ron Jaworski. This is what we do over here, guys. We don't do controversy. We do conversation, and we do it right. With that, all 3 topics have been discussed. And guys and gals and pals, I have to bring this up as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't. When you're talking about the Jaws Youth Playbook, I'm going to give you guys the link once our luminaries are off screen. JawsYouthPlaybook.org. And I'm going to talk about Joe Smith's Academy. I'm talking about what the Matt Stuntman's doing. But when it comes to Ron Jaworski, there's programming such as building a fitness room at a Boys and Girls Club, constructing a playground in an underprivileged community, refurbishing ball fields in inner city communities. When it comes to health, supporting farmers markets in underprivileged neighborhoods that don't otherwise have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And how about advocacy? Getting involved as a former U.S. history teacher, I can tell you this is really important to me. To get involved in PE in schools. You testified in front of Congress on the issue of childhood obesity and other legislative regulatory actions that do impact childhood obesity. So there's so much good you're doing, Ron. So much good. And I know you're probably one of those guys who doesn't like to take his roses, but man, you're going to take them because you do a lot of good, my friend.
Appreciate
guys and gals and pals, right now, These three men who've done so much good tonight and every day, of course. Matt Stuntman says that maybe off screen he doesn't always do good. That's what makes us interesting, guys and gals. But you know what? When the camera's on, we appreciate all of you because as the Matt Stuntman said, and as Joe Smith said and Ron said as well, we'd be having a nice conversation here without you, and it wouldn't be as special. So thank you for joining us. Speaking of which, speaking of special, Mr. Jason London, who I will always remind the masses is a special human being, my good friend. Topic number 3, where do we go?
Oh, okay. Well, geez. I mean, I think that you all were great, and Mr. Stuntman. I mean, I think that your honesty is so wonderful, and was incredibly touching. And you know, Jaws. I mean, to get to talk to you in the first place is an honor, and I respect what you do so very much. And what you're getting to do on such a large level is wonderful. And that's what kind of brings me back to what Joe's doing, is maybe on a smaller scale, but that's where the seeds are planted. That's where everything starts. And it's so admirable that you're doing that for the kids. And for that, my vote's going to go to Joe.
Joe Smith from Jason London. Thank you so much, my friend. Guys and gals and pals, I'm going to speak with Jason very briefly in about 2 minutes about some really cool things going on. Thank you, my friend. Jason London, guys and gals.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason, big up.
Absolutely. A class human being, guys and gals. What a class. And again, I say this because there's people that I write for and work for in the studio system. And yeah, they got the name recognition, but I only like working with people and inviting people here who epitomize positivity like you guys. So thank you again for sharing your hearts and souls. It means a lot to me personally. So thank you. And say a prayer for me. I'm a Giants fan. All right, guys and gals. I know. I'm sorry. Guys, we are now going to turn it over to you, the engine that makes this thing go. So, as you know, right now, you guys are going to be voting. We're going to find out which two of these incredible luminaries will move on to round number 2 of, and I don't say this with any pomp and circumstance, but the biggest celebrity tournament ever in terms of numbers is right here. Who will be the 2 that will move on to round number 2? For the third topic, Chad says, I'm going to vote for Ron. Ron gets a vote. Giselle votes for Joe Smith, who gets a vote. Mel says this was tough. I think I'm going to vote for Ron. Okay. This is Julie Hall. Glad there's not another topic because by the slimmest of margins, vote for Joe Smith. Irving Quintero votes for Mr. Jaworski. And Leah Smith votes for Joe Smith. And Jim Baggs is starting a little jingle here, which goes something like this, if I can read this. Bills, Bills, Jaws, Bills, Bills. Okay. I think he's voting for Ron. Pretty sure he's... Yeah. They're on tomorrow. Johnny, Jaws gets my vote this round. Philly love. Okay. Got more and more votes. Brian, I'm going to have to vote for the Matt Stuntman. He shared his entire soul with us and held nothing back. He made us like to move it. And tonight he made us love to move it. Thank you for being here. Big ups, bro, from Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, remember again, this man helped me dance and romance back in the day with that song. So yes, Alex Silverman votes for Joe. And Ed says, Ron's bikes got me. So he's voting for Ron. Ed Hauser, South Jersey. Leah Smith says, always Joe Smith. I'm voting for Joe Smith. Okay, Leah Smith, thank you so much for your vote. Will E. Wilson votes for Ron. Got that. Okay. Shaquila votes for Jaws this round, and Jeff concurs and also votes for Ron Jaworski. And Ramon Solomon votes for Joe Smith. Thank you, Ramon. John Rett said, I got Ron in the final round. Christopher, I wish all 3 men could win tonight. My vote is going to Joe Smith. Guys, remember, one-time only stipulation after round number 1 of this tournament means that there will be the Second Chance Bowl. And if someone does not win tonight, they may get a chance to get voted back in. Only 12 of about 50 who've lost will get voted back in, though. And, of course, we're not offering that beyond round 1. So who knows? We'll see. We have Cheryl voting Jaws. Great job by all 3. I concur, John. Very good comment. Very truthful comment. Johnny votes for Joe. Alexander votes for Ron. Giselle, thank you for tallying everything in the back. We appreciate you as well. Angel votes for the Matt Stuntman. And Leah concurs and also votes for the Stuntman.
Thank you.
Karen says, I vote for Ron. Slim margin, though. These guys were just terrific. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Julie says, go Buffalo. Vote for Jaws. Okay.
I'm getting a Buffalo vote.
A Buffalo vote. Man, do they need it. But man, what a run they've had lately, though. What a run. The Stuntman gets Jeff Reeder Jr.'s votes. Guys, I'm going to finish this thing up in about 30 seconds. Can't count everything, but I'll try. Chantel says, I'm going to vote for Joe Smith for this very round. Okay, this is real close here in the back as I'm looking at all the votes being tallied. Tracy votes Joe. All right. All right. Let's count this thing down. Howard votes for the Stuntman. He bared it all. All three men, however, were just amazing. Way too tough to call. Way too tough to call. I see all your comments, and I agree with you guys. All right. Trust me, if I was voting, my hair would be a mess. It would not be immaculate like it is now. Hillary votes for Joe. Such a close call. Rita votes for Joe. Guys, I'm going to start counting this thing down right about now. Anna Marie votes for the Stuntman. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Thank you, Anne Marie.
Appreciate that. Guys, 10, 9, 8. There's a 7 and a 6. Then there's a 5 and a 4. Then there's a 3 and a 2 and a 1. And we cap it off with a 0. So, with that being said, guys and gals, with 35 votes, moving on to the second round of the TCAN Celebrity Tournament. In a few months, will be Ron Jaworski, and with 34 to 30, with 34 to 30, Mr. Joe Smith will move on also to the second round of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. That does not mean we've seen the last of the Matt Stuntman, because the Second Chance Bowl is upon us. I think this man bared his soul. I think he's probably going to get voted back. And remember, that stipulation is only available after round number 1. That being said, before I speak to each of these gentlemen one-on-one for a couple of minutes, anything you guys would like to say to one another? You're amazing.
I would like to say to my fans, what I would like to tell you guys is thank you guys so much. The opportunity just being here talking with you about my life story is great. I meet some wonderful people on this cast right now. And I definitely want to tell all my fans and supporters my new documentary of my life of music, Move It, the Real to Real documentary, is available right now on Amazon Prime. Move It, the Real documentary is on Amazon Prime right now. When you finish tonight, check it out.
Check it out, guys. Don't wait. Matt Stuntman, I want to talk to you more about that for a few minutes. I'm going to put you backstage for a moment, my friend, and bring you right back for 2 more minutes, because I do want to talk about that. That's the Matt Stuntman. Mr. Joe Smith, I'm going to put you backstage for a brief moment as well and talk to Ron, because I want to talk to Joe about his basketball academy. But Ron, I also want to talk to you about what you're doing with our youth. Joe Smith is doing it as well. You guys are both doing so much great stuff for the youth. That is a mission of yours. How long has it been a mission of yours, Ron?
40 years.
Incredible.
40 years. Yep.
Incredible.
And actually, I served on the United Way board 40 years ago, and they had a program called Success Before 6. And that really kind of piqued my interest. So at that time, I was obviously younger, but I realized my kids were younger, and I realized, it is all about the kids. The future is the kids. And so for 40 years now, I've had my Jaworski's playbook, the Jaworski family. I get incredible support in the Philadelphia community. We've raised over $7 million, and I'm literally at every event. And by the way, we did an event last year. Right. We did a prom dress drive. When it was first presented to me by our executive director, I said, "What's the issue with prom dress?" And you would not believe how many kids in inner cities do not have access to beautiful gown wear. Well, we rallied the troops. We had hundreds of gowns. Gowns. We got shoes. We got jewelry. So awesome. We got all the things that some of these you take for granted. These kids in these inner cities have. They don't get it, but we made sure they get it. It's I talked about the bike drive earlier. Our prom drive now has become very, very successful. We're helping the kids.
The passion has not been replaced, because the passion begets passion. Now you're doing something that you're just as passionate about as football, or such an amazing body of work that you have as an analyst as well. Ron, you've done a ton of these. Did you have a lot of fun, my friend?
I had a blast. I didn't know what to expect, but meeting Joe, and we just had a phenomenal time. Everyone involved, I say thank you.
Well, we thank you as well, and welcome to round 2, my friend, in a couple of months.
We'll have some fun again.
Ron Jaworski, have a great night, my friend. You got it. Have a great night, my friend.
Thank you, Avi.
Ron Jaworski. I'm going to bring in Joe Smith momentarily, but let me bring in the Matt Stuntman really quickly, and then Jason London as well. And guys and gals, stick around because we have a lot of videos to show you regarding next week's show and some hints and clues, and I think you'll like that. Mr. Matt Stuntman, I wanted to talk about this documentary because when you brought it up to me, I checked it out. I watched it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow night again, actually. I love this because this was something you were putting together for a while.
Yes.
How do you feel about what it captured, like the essence of your journey, essentially?
I feel so good, explaining letting the world know the true story behind myself, and the music and my name, where the name came from, the whole journey of my life into this young man becoming a famous singer. Like automatically, like right away as I got signed up with Eric Morello, everything just happened so fast. When the song "I Like to Move It" first came out, we flew to the UK to do 22 shows. MTV show was also included.
I think the first televised show was in the UK.
Yes, the first televised was in the UK.
Yeah.
And everything was just happening so fast for me that we didn't get really time to develop a great friendship, Eric Morello and I. Everything was just business. Hey, Stuntman, you got to go here. Stuntman, you have a show here. We didn't really get to develop getting to know each other really well.
Sure.
In the documentary, I don't want to give it all away. In the documentary, check it out. What I didn't mention tonight, it's in the documentary, and I just want the world to know my journey. The little struggles I had growing up to become the person I am today. 30 years later, actually this month, January, I Like to Move It single is going to be 31 years old.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And the album is going to be 30 years old.
I can't believe how time flies, man. And you've done so much because I want people to know as great of a hit that was, you kept producing good stuff. You keep putting out great work. And as you said, now there's a lot of positive work that you put out. You always have. But I found your ambition to be relentless. I found your life story to be very inspirational. But then to get to know the man behind the man, Stuntman, that's the treat. That's the beauty of it, man. Getting to know you, my friend. And yes, Val, and I agree with you, Val is one hell of a human being.
Yes, I want people to know that I have two personality, Mark Kwashi and the Mad Stuntman is two different people, okay? Because Mark Kwashi wrote the song for the Mad Stuntman. The Mad Stuntman is the one that performed
it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know where I get the Mad Stuntman name from. I'm going to tell it to you guys where I get the Mad Stuntman name. My favorite TV show was The Fall Guy with Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Earlier on, he did The $6 Million Man, the favorite show. But I got my name Stuntman from Lee Majors doing his own stunts in the TV series The Fall Guy.
And the part where we incorporate Matt is because they would dare you, your friends would dare you to cross the street talk to some of the lovely ladies out there, introduce yourself, and you would do it all the time on a whim.
Do it all the time like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Matt Stuntman. Well, my friend, I had such a great time. Did you enjoy yourself tonight?
I enjoy myself so much. Oh, man. I love this. I love your questions. Your intro is amazing. I hear everyone talking about your intro. Really and truly, you're great, man. You're great. I think you need to come out with a record, man. Man, I think.
Appreciate it.
Listen, do it, man. You got the voice for it. Don't be shy.
I appreciate that, man.
Do it. Anyone can do it. Follow your dreams, and you can do it. One day, I wish to be a person like you. What you're doing now. This is what I do sometimes when I go on my Instagram. I like to talk to people.
Yes.
It's all about giving back to the kids and giving
And you
back.
you do, man.
Ron, and this is why I want to say,
Yeah.
this is why I say stay in school.
Yes.
Well, this is what Ron is giving back and doing all of these great things. And you have to graduate. Please graduate. Do not drop out of school. It's not cool. Don't be a fool. Okay?
Absolutely. And guys and gals, again, the Matt Stuntman, you gave us a chance to really get to know you and Mark all on the same night. So we were blessed for that. I am going to see you again. I would like to talk to you on the phone next week as well about some other stuff. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, good sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All
Have
my
a great
fans
night.
around the world. All girls all over the world. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to
move it. Good night, my friend.
Good night.
The Mad Stuntman. Joe Smith, how can you not get excited after that, man? How can you not get pumped up, man?
It's amazing how he's able to just turn it on like that.
Did you see that?
Like he just went from just like
right. Like it's no big deal, man. And they would like his partner would be like, he's like, you got to do the Cookie Monster voice, and he's like, man, it's killing me after a couple performances.
Right.
But he would just go. But hey, man, I want to talk about your basketball academy because it's more than an academy where you learn the do's and don'ts as a player. You learn about life because you give people life lessons, Joe.
Exactly. It's not just about the X's and O's or what you can do out there on that basketball court. Like I said, my high school basketball coach, one thing he really helped me and influenced me with was how to be a great person off the court, and how to be a helpful person off the court, how to be a respectful person off the court. And that's something that as I'm teaching these kids skills and development, that's something I'm also expressing. You know, being a good teammate. Even if we're in there, we're training, and they come from different schools.
Sure.
You know, but when we're in that gym together, you guys are teammates. So regardless of what you guys have going on, rivalry or whatever you might have going on outside of here, once we come in here, we respect each other, we respect the work, and we put the work in together as teammates. And that's something that, you know, I try to preach to them. As far as staying in school, like Stuntman was talking about, always talking about staying in school and the importance of staying on top of your grades, staying on top of your homework, listening to the teachers, obeying the teachers, and being respectful to the teachers.
Sure.
And things like that, just different things like that as far as mentoring that I do off the court.
You do it consistently too. Where can people, because I'd like to guide a lot of people as well in the area, where could they join the academy, Joe?
Right now I'm focused out of Jacksonville, Florida. If you're in the area, or if you actually, the thing about it now is what I want to do is I'm looking for a place where I can house a few kids. Like if you're coming from out of state, you know, a place where you can stay and get your skills and get your work
like
done.
Room and board too. That's great.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So you can, because a lot of places, a lot of things are done right now are local, and I get a lot of people that are requesting, you know, out of state work, out of state training, and out of state mentoring. So if I can get a place where down in Jacksonville where I can, where I can do the housing as well, that'll make it a lot easier, and I can do.
You know what I really like about you? What I really like about you is like you don't settle. You're doing so much for the kids already, but I could see the wheels turning, and you're like, what else can I do for them? I got to do more for them. And it's like, it's never enough. It's that ambition that you have to give back seamlessly, wholeheartedly, unconditionally. That's beautiful, man. It really is.
I mean, the thing about it is growing up in Norfolk, we had a couple of celebrity basketball players that make it, but for the most part, they never came back, you know, to really help the local kids. And that's something that, you know, growing up, you know, talking to a lot of the local basketball players, kids growing up, and that's something they always mention. You know, we have such and such from here. They never come back and do this. Or we have such and such that you know, been playing for so long and they never come back and do this. But that's something that I've never wanted to hear my name affiliated with. So I get a kick, I get a joy out of working with the kids and being around the kids and like Jaws said, when you see that smile on these kids' face, man, just from the smallest improvement,
all of your problems just go away.
Put the biggest smile on their face, man, and
right.
It makes you feel so good inside that you just want to keep going and keep going and keep going. Like you say, the wheels are always spinning because I always want to find a way to keep going and do whatever I can to help out in the community.
No, communicating with you and getting to know you're one of the most authentic people there is, man. And I fully support what you do. And I have to ask you again, you're in the second round, Joe. Should people be watching out for Joe Smith in round 2?
I'm here to win, man. I'm here to win. We compete. I'm here to win. Tell Timmy I love him too, but I'll see him in round 2.
You see him in round 2. Joe, you've done a lot of these. You had fun, my friend, tonight?
Oh, I had a ball. Great, catching up with Jaws. Great meeting the Stuntman. I've never, had the opportunity to meet him. So that was great. And just yourself, my man. Bringing the energy, bringing it, bringing everything we need in order to make this show professional, make this show go work, and make this show well, man. I appreciate you, Avi.
I appreciate you too, my friend. Talk to you next week. Congratulations. And Joe Smith, guys and gals and pals, gives back. Please keep track of this foundation. It's doing so much because of the man behind it. Thank you, my friend, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you and everybody out there. I'll see you guys soon.
Joe Smith, guys and gals. You got it. Mr. Jason London, I love the humanity of it all, my friend. I love that you're a part of this because, if anyone appreciates human nature, it's you. If anyone appreciates good conversation, it's you. But if anyone appreciates honesty and no BS, it's you.
Yes, sir, man. That I'm honored that you said that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. There's a lot that we're not going to talk about because I know we're still kind of working on stuff, you and I. But I'll say the name Mary, and I'll say Full of Grace, and I'll say
I've got something special to send you in a couple days that you're gonna flip out on.
Ooh, yeah. I can't wait to see that. Man. Oh, that's what you were telling me about that you were working on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to see that.
I finished the first draft.
Hey, you finished the first draft. Is writing as rewarding for you?
Well, financially, not yet.
Sure.
But personally, I would if I could choose between the two, I would probably choose the writing over everything.
Wow.
Getting to be creative. Well, you get to play God a little bit. You get to you say I want this girl to have red hair, and then later in the day go, I want her to be a blonde. And it's weird how you get it's better than playing video games. I would love to try to talk to these kids that sit in their mom's basement and play video games all day and all that, and to understand that what they're doing is they're trying to get escape from reality, and they're trying to get to a place where they can be in their own world. Well, imagine being able to be the one that's creating that.
Never thought of that. That's pretty cool.
And the joy that you're getting to create in your mind. Like I would not tell them, take the best round of your favorite video game and actually be the main character and write as that main character what happened in that your best game, and see if that's not more pleasurable than playing the game itself.
That's so great. I never thought about that, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. You get to do it, and you're going to second guess yourself and doubt yourself as a writer, but that's what we need to do. We need to be our own worst critic. We need to be the judge, but not to a point of where you're keeping yourself stale and being afraid to be adventurous or take risk, but to just come at things from a place of honesty, which is what acting is as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why a lot of actors make great directors and great writers, because I can translate the way that I would have translated as an actor when I'm writing something, and it helps the voices just come to you. They hear it, and I open my hands like this, and I receive in a way like almost like an antenna. Okay, character, talk to me. Tell me, Mary. Tell me what you would say here.
It's like you try your idea. Yeah,
I hear her in my ear,
right,
or in my head, and I hear it, and when it comes out, it's in her voice, and it's and so.
You can't deny the truthful nature of it, because
absolutely, and there's a difference between trying to make some sort of farcy kind of thing or some sort of over the top. There's a difference between that and getting to the core of human nature, which is what I like to explore so much. And this story that we're talking about is a story about a real person, but it's a person that people don't know a lot of details about.
No.
We got to have the actual details that really people know about this person, but also you get to then explore in your own mind what happened between those places.
You went deep. You went deep from a research level.
Yeah.
You went deep in terms of the humanity of it. But it also reminds me of like it's no similar. Writing is no different than storytelling either, because when you try your ideas one at a time with commitment and you discover what each new choice brings, that's the same as when you're writing. You work each moment without anticipating the outcome. And as a writer, it's beautiful to not anticipate the outcome. Even if you already know where the arc is going, you can still make discoveries as a writer.
That's absolutely true. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had a thought in my head, and then it automatically kind of developed into something different that was so much better than what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And it's about being quiet and listening.
Yes.
I know that might sound weird to some people, but once you get into that mode, and I'm telling you, anybody that's into video games or whatever, try exactly what I said. Try to write out the story of your favorite video game, and you're the main guy, and the favorite time you played your high score.
Sure.
Try it.
I want to give that a shot myself. And I like that this is sort of a sneak peek into Guys and Gals, our new show, which we've been hyping up for a while. But guess what? We have 70 new shows, guys, coming down the pike. And one of them is going to be myself and Jason London with great guests as well. I'll book some really cool talent that really wants to get to know about storytelling and writing. And through Jason's experience and his time that he's providing us graciously, we're going to have a fun time on that show, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Man, did you have a fun time tonight, my friend?
As always. It was incredible.
And hey, round 2 is upon us pretty soon. You're in there, my friend.
Yeah. You're going to send me the answers and all that first.
You won't need them. You will not need them, my friend. You have a great rest of the weekend, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
The great Jason London, guys and gals. Man, what a night. What a night, guys. And we're not done. And it was a long one, but it felt like I looked up and it said 2 hours and 50 minutes. I'm like, what? What? How the hell did this go 2 hours and 50 minutes? So, guys, that being said, there are some stuff we're not going to be able to air tonight because we're at 2 hours and 50. But I do want to know that all of you, the videos you sent me last week, had COVID. I'm okay now. I'm getting better. But I want to take your videos, dress them up a bit, put some music behind them, and play them next week. But we're going to have a couple of other videos we're going to play tonight. So because we're at 2 hours and 50, I'll build up to it. And I'm also going to build up to an announcement that I make next week regarding these celebrity talk shows, which are different than the celebrity tournament. So stick around right now. I'm going to take a much needed little swig of water over here. I have to go to the kitchen to do that. So I'm going to go backstage. I'm going to have to move it like I used to back in the Dizzy. And guys and gals, let's bring in Giselle. Why not? Let's bring in everybody. Why not? Let's bring in Giselle. Let's bring in John. Let's bring in Howard. Let's bring in Mindy. Let's have a good time. And I might play a video when they least expect it. They'll react to it. You'll react to it. We'll have a lot of fun. But my question for Giselle, John, Howard, Mindy, what did you think of tonight? One of my favorite nights. That's me personally. Curious to hear your thoughts as well.
Hi.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh my gosh.
What a night. Yeah, as always, I don't know where to start. I do have that song now stuck in the psyche of my soul. I want to move it. Also the soundtrack of my youth as well. I'm not sure if it gave me as many partners, lovers, or friends, but hey, that's a whole different story. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think this was one of the deepest nights we've had. All of the questions could have been a thought-provoking question in that third topic. And they were so giving and so emotional, and many of our competitors have been. But there was something very special about tonight. What do you think, John?
Well, look, it's kind of like I said all along. Avi has a way of bringing these people together and putting these panels together. I mean, who would have thought these three guys would have went this deep on every topic? I mean, they had me in my feelings from the start and really had me drawn in.
But what a moving story all of them told. The Mad Stuntman, when he talked about his mom and being in the hospital, and he's singing the song, and he starts to say, as she starts to move, and I'm just like tears running down my eye. You know, I'm a sensitive guy, you know, and that really got me, man. But what a great job by everyone.
I am blown away by how deep they each went. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think one of the really cool themes I think we heard tonight was that that coach-player relationship and how it transcends just from just a basic, hey, give me some drills, throw this ball. No, it went past the gym, it went past the game. And I think that's what I really got from one of the many things I got from what they were all sharing, that coach-player relationship becomes so pivotal to the foundation of who they become, not only as an athlete, but as a human being, as we could see, what they've been able to give back,
Absolutely. The thing is, when you have a coach that really takes an interest in you as a human being, I've been there. When you're struggling at home and the coach actually cares about what's going through your mind and seeing where he can help. And sometimes it's just being that person to talk to and that mentor. I don't know if any of them ever said mentor, but that's exactly what I got from it, is they all had mentors in their life that they drew from and that helped them be the people they are today and helped them be successful in what they did.
Yes.
Well, one thing very important to all three men is community, not just handing out gifts, but being there as well. Yeah, in person. Sure. Totally agree. Well, I popped in here, guys and gals, not to steal the thunder of the Green Roomers, but to give them their due, because these men and women here on screen, Howard, John, Giselle, Mindy, Julie's not here with us tonight. She will be next week. Pete Sharpie, Fred Ottman, Pinocchio Joe Rossitano, Kelly White. God almighty. This is just an incredible team over here. I've known Phil for many years. I want you guys to give them their due, because it sounds very tacky. It sounds very cliche, but what this team does and how much they love this is why I love them, because they love this because they love positivity. They love this because they like having fun. They love this because they like getting to know people. They love this because they like being in a place where you're void of judgment. And they like this because it's a place that allows us to bond for who we are. As different as we are, we're very similar. God almighty, it's great to see that. It's great to see that. It's great to know that we're so geographically spread out, but yet we're as tight as you can imagine. And that goes to all of you watching as well, many of you, because you support us so very much. The Chads, the Julie Halls, everyone commenting right now. McKenna, I see you there. Tracy, I see you there. Ramon, I see you there. You guys mean a lot to us, and that's not just lip service, because we do this for free, and that's the key. Is doing this show for free matters. But it's a family. It really is. This is really an experience that we take with us. And then after 6 days of working our tails off, we get all mushy on Saturdays. And we take shots at one another based on the, I guess, perception of who might win this thing. All of us are, well, not all of us are in round 2, by the way, guys. Not all of us. One of us is in round 3. More on that next week, because it deserves its own video, and it will get it at a good time slot. But, when we talk about our numbers and you see our posts throughout the week, thank you, Tracy. It's not that we're bragging, but we want this message, this mission to get out there. So we're reminding you of how much we're growing. We're reminding you of how much we still want to grow even more, because this message speaks to everyone. You can have fun without being controversial. You can have fun and learn without having it to be a task or boring or tiresome. So, when we show you this video right now, it's not us taking roses and giving it to ourselves. It's us taking a bouquet you've given us and throwing it back to you, because these numbers and metrics would not be there without all of you. So, again, thank you for a pretty incredible week. Some cool milestones that you guys can hopefully check out and enjoy.
It's you know, I don't know about you guys, man. You know, Monday through Friday, you know, putting everything together, you know, and all you guys doing amazing work. I think Saturday nights are the only time these accomplishments really hit me, man. I'll be honest. You know, we put that video up on Friday, Thursday, and then I'm hearing the numbers. I'm like, what? You know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, what? And now it's hitting me. But I do want to say, and it's the content, right? It's these topics that Avi creates. It's the booking that he does that brings these amazing human beings here and what they share. You know, then it's just a matter of putting that together and just giving it back, you know? Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, look, we all know that Avi put a plan a couple of years ago. He talked about where he wanted to be. And, you know, I always had the utmost confidence that we would get there. But to see the fruits of it all is really special. And to know how much work is put in by, I mean, no one puts in more work than Avi. I mean, let's not get that mixed. But we all work, and we all, and, you know, no one ever wants to feel like you're working for nothing. But to see the fruits start to come in, it's really special, man. And it really, as I was watching that video and I see that, you know, it kind of put me in my feelings again. But, you know, I mean, I was already kind of in my feelings from the night. But, you know, I mean, it's hard not to get emotional when you see something like that.
Yeah. Literally deal with the hardships of daily life and selfish people. It is so refreshing to be here with you guys and your love and positivity. Aw, thank you, Shaquilla. We love that too. This is what TKN is all about. And Lisa, we are also glad that you are getting to be a part of this. Thank you for watching every week. Saturday Bites are super from Lester. Yes, I think so. And you have more of those bites on YouTube, like we just saw. And definitely agree with that. Mindy's got, the word is out. It is overwhelming to see the growth and to know we are changing minds. I see what you did there, Mindy.
Yeah, and good segue, guys, because listen, Changing Minds is going to be part of the new network again, live. So will Cooking with Purpose. So will Paper Knife. Hey, guys and gals and pals, don't get overwhelmed, but you might get a Cooking with Purpose invite because he's got that page on Facebook. John's going to be building that up. Mindy's going to be building up Changing Minds, Paper Knife, The Howard Show. All these new pages are going to be built. Some that haven't been built yet will be. Those that will be inviting you and your friends as we grow them as well. What does that mean? It means that some of the videos we played that gave you an insight into the lives of this great panel and the great Julie and Pete and everybody else who's not here. You know, we're going to still give you guys those clips, but even better than those clips, you're going to get Cooking with Purpose live. Paper Knife live, The Howard Show live, Changing Minds live. More on that next week. I will announce it right after the match. What does it mean for these talk shows? What does it mean for A Good Time with John Amos? Talked to him the other day. What does it mean for From London to You? What does it mean from London is Burning? What does it mean regarding the new shows with Mark Henry, Lifting the Curtain? There's so many, 70 plus. In addition to what you're watching now live, you're going to love how you can actually watch these talk shows when I announce the hows next week. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to play the Second Chance video, but this Wednesday night exclusively on the Black Box, I will, and I'll play it again next Saturday. So we have a great Second Chance video that we're going to play for you guys and gals and pals. Really, because the Second Chance Bowl is filling up. We just might be a dubious honor, but the Matt Stuntman might be someone who gets voted back. I think John, Giselle, Mindy, if you want to write it down, Howard, would you say that without making it official that the Stuntman might be one of the favorites to get into that bowl?
I think he became everyone's darling tonight. You know, his favorite. Yeah.
He was only a few votes behind, you know. I mean, I was watching them as they're being tallied in the back, and I'm like, you know, he creeped up there. He kind of made a comeback. He fell short, but I mean, that was a tough panel, and for him to perform like he performed, man, great job by him. And yeah, I wouldn't at all.
And not to mention John Red, that back in the Dizzy, when I was making people dizzy, this man over here, I'm talking about the mad Stuntman. Might not have had a plan, but oh man, if I could have recorded what I did back then and put in the can, I would. Of course, I did it sans this. I was out there busting my stuff, hair all out, grooving and moving, shaking and baking all over the place because I like to move. Move It made me do just that on the dance floor back in the day. So yes, and it was a nice time. It was a positive time. People getting along, meeting some great young ladies, having a great time, and then, having some great dinner and having all set to that song. So iconic. Played for years, still does. And with Joe Smith, listen, anyone that knows me knows I'm a basketball nut. I remember seeing Joe Smith in the 1995 NBA draft, which is when you actually see the NBA teams drafting the college players. They televise that every year. So you get to see who gets drafted by which team. And it's beautiful. It's not a game, but they're dressed up. They're with their families in the green room. They're supporting them. Joe Smith was the first overall pick. For those who are basketball fans, he was picked over Kevin Garnett, who's one of the greatest of all time. He was picked over Damon Stoudemire, Rasheed Wallace. These are great players. He was number one. But what I remember most about that night in Toronto, watching it on TNT, was when his name was called, how he embraced his mom. It was televised. The tears just came flowing as he spoke glowingly about what his mom did for her children. The power, and I say this off screen, but the power that women have is something that maybe John, myself, and Howard can learn from, because they have this power and this instinct to fight for their family in ways that I've witnessed that is not human. And to see them put it all on the line and sacrifice their own dreams for their kids, that's a story that will never get old to tell. And when Joe tells it, like he did tonight, it took me back to that draft. And then there's, of course, Ron Jaworski, Jaws. Found out that he works now, guys and gals, for another big network, but was with ESPN for years, 30 years, as an analyst. A guy who was on TV today, he was on TV yesterday talking about the big games. But he was locked in today. So for him to have the busy schedule that I know he has, because we've been talking all week, for him to be doing interviews and press and radio and national stuff, global stuff, talking about the game, the playoff games, the hottest time of the season right now, the NFL is right now. He was so locked into what we did. That text I got from after the show, he's like, I want that intro. Like, that was just like, he was so mesmerized by what we do. But it takes an entire community. It takes John, Giselle, Mindy, Howard, me, Julie Hall, Chad. Like, it really does take all of us. I'm up there front and center, but man, it is a team. Like, so the theme of the night was team, right? But this is our team. Thankfully, it ain't the Buffalo Bills. And thankfully, it ain't the New York Giants. And as of tonight, I can make fun of the Houston Texans finally.
Yeah.
Or the New Orleans Saints, which I have for years. But guys and gals and pals, this is the team. This is the team that's going to win a championship, because we're going to do it together through the highs and lows. And lip service, guys. It's not about lip service. We're doing stuff sometimes that we think doesn't add up. It adds up. Because if one person reads what we put out there, that's awesome, because what we're putting out there is something we can be proud of. We can go to sleep tonight and say, yeah, the numbers are cool and we saw the celebrities, but we could be proud of what we're putting out there. I don't think there's a greater feeling than doing something you love and being proud of it. Right, guys?
No,
I mean,
there isn't.
knowing that we're creating content, we're creating a conversation that, after maybe in a half hour when we're gone, that these fans are going to be talking about, or it's going to stimulate. That to me is what it's about, right? Just being the catalyst to create just great dialogue, great conversation.
And we're waiting for conversations. That's the beautiful thing about it, because at its very core, we're having conversations. And for us to know that there's, by large, a community that waits for Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for that countdown clock to go live, because they're about to embark upon an internal, spiritual, emotional, and meaningful conversation provided to them by people that they might have looked up to. God almighty, that is something special, to know that we don't have to be cynical about all the crap going on today and all the divisiveness, that we could do something as simple as this and affect people. I love it. That's why I say Sunday nights, like Jason London said, what a friend. He's a gem of a human being. as a writer, he understands that I love Sunday nights because I get to sit down, look outside the window, think and conceptualize about topics that maybe even the celebrities never really thought about. But once they do, they provide us thorough analysis about their humanity. And that's so damn beautiful to see. Mindy says, we are creating conversations that are touching people. The topics help us inspire others. Appreciate that. Chad, guys, wait till you see Chad's top 10 next week because I'm going to put some music to it. COVID's going to be out and about. It's going to be gone already. It's going to be history. And we're going to be playing Chad's top 10 and others as well. Send us your videos. But guys, in case you're wondering, and a little hint, this doesn't mean that these individuals you see before you now in this video are going to be here next week, but some might. You never know. You just never know sometimes. You never know who's next.
No.
To be the man.
He's got him up. He suplexes him. Flair misses with a chop there. The Dragon caught him.
Michaels couldn't pull the trigger, but the Nature Boy does. You gotta beat the man, baby. And right now, I am the man.
They didn't let their presence be known until after Mr. Blonde became a madman, right? I'm not saying they weren't there. I'm saying they were there. But they didn't make their move until after Mr. Blonde started shooting everybody.
I'd say this is the best beer I've ever had. Actually.
You need anything over there?
I'm just glad to be alive right now.
You have made a fool of me for years with these whores. Now it's come into our home.
What are you talking about?
The Russian called. Your son answered the telephone.
Oh, Jesus. She's insane. She's fucking certifiable. I told her to converse with her because she had something to say.
I am here. I have things to say.
Besides, bring the fucking...
Bulls throw it to Pippen, and he scooped it in.
Beautifully off the glass and in. A nice pass from Michael.
Scotty turns it in right in the lane.
Well, we beat the big fellow there out of sight in Atlantic City. He didn't have him down. Oh! The long right hand. Bill Slain, the referee, hopefully giving him every chance, but it's all one way now, and he stopped it in the opening round.
It was a good fight. It's as a wrap-up, I would say that you have shown that you're still there. You're still Larry Holmes.
Wow. It's I mean, at this point, I don't, what Avi's able to do through his phone calls, through his Jerry Maguire moments, I don't doubt it. Any of those people.
What it comes down to is it's not necessarily Avi getting these people. They want to come on. They have friends that come on, and they want to be a part of this thing. I mean,
they do.
They do, and they're calling and they're emailing. And guys, this is the pomp and circumstance portion of the show because it's backed with substance. The names you're going to see in the next month and a half as we conclude round one are going to be epic. At least two of the people you just saw in the video will be there. At least two. At least two. We're talking about some of the biggest icons. As a matter of fact, March 9th, 2024 is going to be a night where your jaw is going to drop once, twice, and thrice. 3 times over when I announce all 3 people in a row. And they are here to win. They've got their topics all the way to March. They're good to go. They're studying. I did an early tech with one of these luminaries, one of the greatest pro wrestling Hall of Famers of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, period, is going to be here joining us, trying to win, guys and gals.
Wow.
And if you thought that the Matt Stuntman had a nice blazer, wait till you see who we got. Guys and gals and pals, I'm going to show you like no other. We're going to give you class as these competitors are out to kick some ass, but learn about each other as well. And guys and gals, who better to tell than us? That's what we do over here. Thank you so much, guys and gals, because again, why don't I do this? And I know that my cast and my family here, the Green Roomers, are very professional. So when I say take about 30 to 45 seconds, they know what it's like. They've been on camera before. They do workshops. We do a lot. Why don't they take 30 to 45 seconds solo to give you any message they'd like? Any message. We'll start with Howard. Then we'll go to Giselle. Then we'll go to John. Then Mindy will write something. We'll give her time. A little solo layout. We'll go backstage as Howard gives us 30 to 45 seconds of his mind about anything he'd like.
Yeah. One of the things when Avi was talking about, mothers and and the importance of mothers. I mean, obviously, I got emotional about that. And that is so important. The people that you surround yourself with and that team, because there is going to be negativity that's going to be coming at you, and it's going to be the people who you have around you, your team, that are going to be able to help you navigate through that. Recently something like that happened to me. I'm not going to get into specifics. And sometimes all it takes is a good friend, a good brother to just make me laugh at the situation. And that becomes so important. Someone to continue, a team that helps you look at yourself, look at your flaws in a constructive, beautiful, positive way. And I think that so much is part of the message that we have here at TKN. And, and I'm not just saying this to just something I'm proud of. And I just want to continue and try and give, my best, to you guys. You're out there, the engine. You guys are important. Love you all.
Tonight was one of my favorite matches, not because it was the most fun, not because it was the most nail-biting, because from the very first topic, I knew it was going to be tough. And I had no idea how we were going to decide on each one. But week after week, y'all are here, showing us your heart as well, and your minds, and loving what we do. And as it was stated tonight, it's about the fans. Sure, I want to make this my life, but I can't have this be my life if we don't have you here supporting us, loving us, telling us what you enjoy, why you enjoy it, and having someone like Avi steer the ship with his years of experience, leading us through this entire process and journey. And I don't want to do this with anyone else but the group that is here, the TKN family.
Today was a rough day. As human beings, especially people who have grew up around sports, you tend to have your emotions rise and fall based on how well your team does and if they win or lose. And man, do you know I would have spent most of tonight probably sulking, kind of pissed off because, the Texans didn't kind of complete what I felt like they had a chance to do. They played good in the first half. The second half, they didn't show up. But to be able to go ahead and put all that aside and have this show as, like something to look forward to, and to have these guys pour out their hearts and to be able to learn from them and to be able to know these. Look, Ron Jaworski, I grew up watching this guy. He was like one of my favorite quarterbacks. I mean, to be able to get to know him on a whole different level and to realize that this guy that I grew up watching is a hell of a guy that gives back to the community, that's a great, great feeling to have. And it also makes me feel like that, we're not that much different than the celebrities. I mean, they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we do. And that's the great thing about this show. It basically brings out the human in all of these luminaries and lets everyone get to know these on a whole different level that they would never know otherwise. And the celebrities love it because they want to be known as something else than a football player or the person who came up with the song, I Want to Move It, that we all love and we all know. It's a special thing, and it's like Mark Henry says, there's nothing going on Saturday nights that's going to be better than the green room.
Each and every one of you.
Love you guys too.
I get to be with you guys.
Every episode, guys and gals. Never know when it's the last. It's gonna last because we have a lot to do. But life is fragile. So again, appreciate every moment that you can. Surround yourself with people you want to be surrounded with, and quit trying to convince someone to understand you when they're determined to misunderstand you. Okay? So that's really the best thing to do. Remember, even if you're nice and you're loyal, it could last far longer than it should. Because sometimes loyalty has an expiration date. So love each other and love what you do. Because life is way too short to do something you don't love. Okay? May not be easy. You may not have a plan. But as long as you know that you're not content, that's step one. Knowing that you're not content. We're not content. We know where TCAN is going. I'm not content when it comes to this tournament because as much as I love these guys, if I face any of them around number 2, I'm going to smoke these fools. So that's what it's going to be all about. We're going to find out who faces who. What about that show, guys? I'm chomping at the bit for that. Everyone's got their favorite show and celebrity. I'm waiting for that night. We've all been there. I'm waiting for that night where we have the bracket reveal special and we find out who faces who on one night. For 3 hours, we find out each match that's going to take place. That is exciting as hell to me. But you're going to get more on the Black Box, more videos we haven't aired here. Also, Second Chance Bowl, we're going to be voting someone back this Wednesday. It'll be on Joe Rositano's page, Joe Rizart, if you will. It'll be on Howard's page, be on Giselle's page. The Black Box, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, this Wednesday live. Bring your friends so we could vote. We want a lot of people voting back someone, so that'll be fun. And yeah, that'll be Wednesday. And guys and gals, if you want a sneak peek, as always, into what awaits all of you and all of us next Saturday, January 27th, as we somehow close out the month of January already. Take a look at this outro. It's about 5-6 minutes. And at the very end of this 6-7 minute video, you're going to get a flyer. And of course, there'll be question marks. But some of the accolades and some of the accomplishments, you will see them before you. Guys and gals, the outro as always. If it doesn't inspire you, you may have to take a human test and see if you're still human because, man, oh man, this gives me butterflies every single time. That was my final rhyme for John Red, Mindy Red, Giselle, Howard Collado, Jason London, Matt Stuntman, Ron Jaworski, Joe Smith. It's been an incredible night. Give it up to Julie, truly Julie, who does so much. We love her to death. Give it up to Mr. Pete Sharpie, who is a brother. Give it up to Kelly White, who's a brother. Give it up to Phil Donahue, who's been commenting all night. Give it up, guys and gals, to God Almighty, anyone who I might have missed. Joe Rositano hosted the voiceover. Man, guys, this is one hell of a team, one hell of a family. And again, this outro will remind you what it is truly all about.
There's going to be talent every time.
Another three, way short.
You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about?
We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
You don't defend them. You attack them. You take their game and you shove it right back in their face.
Powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? What will your verse be?
Braces the ball, and the unlikely upset. One of the great upsets in NBA playoff.
And we have Gort, who can make it stop. And I've said multiple times, where the hell is Gort when you need it? We need something like Gort to bring people back to their senses and end this chaotic nonsense insanity of war.
The Celtics, they were a dynasty. They were a dynasty.
Probably with a little off balance. Bird with the steal behind the back.
They were a dynasty. And they did it because they started a movement. Red Auerbach began the fast break motion offense.
Fast break offense.
Because Bill Russell was grabbing rebounds over guys who were twice his size.
See the pass, the follow through, the shot, all the defensive men.
The Boston Celtics have won more titles by far than any other sports franchise in the world. That's the very definition of a dynasty.
I'm going to be the most dominant champion. Oh my God!
They had Red Auerbach, who, as the owner, gave that team everything that
he wasn't an owner. He wasn't an owner. He was the coach and the manager.
Boston Celtics had an advantage over other franchises.
No one in Boston wanted to support the Celtics. As they were winning championships, they had another challenge because they couldn't fill the Boston Garden up.
I don't care if LeBron's playing.
I'm just trying to parlay to people
Yeah,
I did it because I've been to the deepest depths of despair.
You want to kill yourself? Oh, right. Shut up! Yes and no! You want to die?
What about the other people who don't have your...
Do you want to hear that sometimes I think about eating a bullet?
You're inspiring me, and I'm no, and I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, I do. I even got a special one for the occasion with a hollow point.
So I know we got to get to this thing.
We are all grown men at some point.
Every single day I wake up and I think of a reason not to do it every single day.
You have to take responsibility for your actions.
Of course.
I have spent my whole life scared.
Whatever you think you know about yourself, there's always another layer waiting for you to peel back.
Frightened of things that could happen, might not happen.
The most important truth is what's in your heart.
Ever since my diagnosis, I sleep just fine.
I think that reveals everything that is important. What is truth? The important truth is what's right here, what's right there. But the important truth is
get up.
But the important truth is
get up.
What's right here.
And you kick that bastard as hard as you can, right in the teeth.
What's right there.
Well, yeah, I'd love to be able to say I beat all these guys.
Second place doesn't really make it if you're a competitor.
The NCAA then convened a meeting to discuss harsher penalties, but few believe that they would ever be used.
Small step for man.
One small step for man.
And, a great leap for mankind.
One giant leap for mankind.
And so remembering that we're stronger than we think. And
I mean, the core of man's spirit comes from new experiences.
Just to find beauty around us, laughter and beauty.
Sitting on my butt? Yeah.
Because it is literally everywhere, whether it's artwork or people, and
I'll show you.
And so remembering that we're stronger than we think, and
Yeah.
It's
as
horrible.
Joy said,
Yeah. Be present and be in the moment.
Hit in the head.
Yeah. So being mindful.
When you forgive,
To inspire them to, to be better.
you love.
To inspire them to try hard.
And when you love,
And what you were just saying, Avi, perspective, it can help lead us in a positive direction.
God's light shine.
You know, Brittany, again, same thing with you and your son and his aspirations now as well.
God's light shine.
And Nancy, you just brought it up. And then Julie, the first thing we talked about was, your son and coming back from school, and like, you could just tell there's an outpouring of love.
God's light shines on you.
So whenever there's division, there's always going to be good on one side and bad on the others.
Now you lost back there because you beat yourself.
All the recording's going to do is make a case for something to be taken out of context.
You're a special kid. You're my boy, do you understand? But you're also a spoiled, rich brat who's always had everything done for him.
Larger government spending in health and reduced mortality rates.
The world meets nobody halfway. Do you understand what that means?
He pulls the ends of his fingers.
But even if you don't, so what? So you lose. As long as you lose like a winner, it doesn't matter. Because you did it with dignity.
All the advice that goes along with that experience.
Power, Mike. The power, Mike.
Because of course there's arguing and so forth in politics.
He was never charged. It's the one crime he was never charged for.
Probably since the beginning of time, Adam and Eve, right? I mean, there was always a power struggle.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Mickey loves you.
In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any luck. Look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch. Who will sacrifice himself for this.
You know what? Maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show.
God's light shines on you.
Avi, I'm gonna win this whole thing. Watch.
I know you are, Tom. I know you are.